In the faraway world of Everden, on the eastern coast of a great continent, lies a vast forest between the mountains and the sea. This is Humblewood, an ancient magical place that hums an endless song to the great rhythm of life and death. The trees of the wood are old and powerful. Sheltered in those mighty boughs live the bird folk and the humble folk. The people of the wood live together under the protection of the Perch Guard, bringing peace and security. Over time, birdfolk culture has spread, and the capital city of Alderheart has become the political center of the wood. But all is not well in the wood. Trouble stirs in the scorched grove, an ashen plain ravaged by fire centuries ago. The grove expands. The balance of the realm hangs on an edge. And an ancient power awakens. Part 1. The adventure begins.
Well, welcome everyone to DieFall Alderheart Episode 2. Sorry that it was a little delayed. On top of having driver updates and then those not working and then trying to restart the computer and triggering a Windows update, we're finally here. So thank you very much for that. And apparently that's broken too, so now all my alerts are different, so I'm gonna fix those real quick. But other than that, hi, welcome. Hi, how are you? This is our show about birds and hedgehogs and raccoons and just really, really cute creatures. But first thing is entirely first, and I like to go around and bother people about things after they tell us who they are. Tonight, if you don't know, is the yearly Game Awards. So the Game Awards are tonight for 2019. So, Malaveth, tell people a little bit about yourself and who you're playing, and then tell us what your favorite game was this year. And I'm not going to limit you. It's the favorite game you played this year. It could have been released at any point in time. And it can be a board game too. But you can't name a tabletop role-playing game. That's my only limitation.
That's
my only limitation. But Malaveth, tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you're playing, who Pez is, and then what your favorite game was this year. I know you have the misfortune of going first, so everyone else has some time to think about it. And don't worry, I'm rambling, so you have a little bit of time to figure it out.
I think I got it.
All right, let's do it.
Hi, my name is Maliveth. I'm a full-time freelance illustrator person / streamer person. I like drawing stuff mostly and playing video games and trying to remember exactly what video games I've played within the last year. It's like when somebody asks you what your favorite music is and you can't remember that you even ever listened to music. Geez. I'm playing Pez. She's a Luma Bard. She's all pink and gray and kind of blue, and she's just a lot of fun colors. She plays a little Aloes thing, and she's kind of a little bit of a disaster, but that's okay because she's shiny and it's fine.
She's a wonderful.
Yeah, she's doing great. She hasn't died yet, so it's good. The favorite game that I played this year. I've been enjoying getting back into Destiny. It's nice just playing games with friends again. That's good.
Yo,
it's pretty.
You play Destiny?
A little bit.
Holy crap, have I been on that train too? Oh, okay, we'll talk Destiny later. It's fine. So that's your game that you played this year is your favorite one is Destiny? I mean, that's awesome.
I think so.
I can totally dig it.
I don't know. I think so.
I think it's a great answer.
Yeah, I haven't played too many video
Awesome.
games this year. I'm trying to just draw a bunch and get art done. But
Hey, I can respect that.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Maliveth, and welcome back to episode 2.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what Pez does today. Bonus stage, Rob. What was your favorite game, and maybe what was your favorite bonus stage? Because that's part of your. So, Rob, what was your favorite game that you played this year? Also, who's Eli? Tell us about yourself.
Well, hello, hi. I'm bonus stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob on Twitch. You can find me there at some point. And you can find me here and at twitch.tv/game nights. That is game with 2 G's and nights with a K, where this is my only cleric now because that other show got canceled. So Eli is the last cleric standing.
The last cleric.
Holy crap, man. It's poetic or something. He's a good hedge boy. He's like a cool youth minister, and he's a real chill guy, and I'm excited to jump back into his headspace. And favorite game. Okay, so in the last 3 weeks, I've just randomly started binge playing Deep Rock Galactic again.
Okay.
But I think for the entire year,
Yeah.
Bill, do you remember when we did E3?
Yes.
And there was something that was coming out on the Switch that I was stupid excited for randomly.
Yes.
It was Settlers of Catan on Switch.
That's right. Oh my God. That's
I've
right.
done all year, and I taught my girlfriend how to play Catan, and then she promptly beat my ass at it. And so now we play with the kid gloves off, and
I forgot about that.
our relationship is.
God.
Oh my God, we're gonna play in on a tabletop for the first time soon because we've only been playing the video game. Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Congratulations,
I'm gonna throw
bud.
shit at her. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So it's gonna be it's a good time. So yeah, Catan.
Nice.
I am obsessed with that game forever. So much fun.
Nice. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see who Eli converts next, because that was a thing from last time too. May,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about Dagenais and yourself, and what your favorite game this year was.
Well, Dagenais, stocky, thick owl boy, who is quite proficient with his spear so far. But yeah, he's doing well. I'm a painter. I paint things. And I would say the favorite game I've played so far, Karsten and I haven't finished it, but it's a little indie title called Knights and Bikes. it's co-op, and you're these kids on bikes exploring an island, and it's really adorable. And then favorite board game to come out this year is Bargain Quest.
Nice. Okay, yes. You've talked about that one multiple times on multiple shows, and I've yet to play it, but one day.
It's so
one
good.
day I will quest and bargain.
You play the shopkeeper, and you're selling goods to adventurers that they take to go fight monsters. And
I
you can
remember
either
you telling me about this.
you can either, equip them for them to win, or you just take all their money and hope for the best.
Wonderful.
It's a good time.
Thank you. I can't wait to see who Dagenais spears next, because he's super proficient with that, apparently. We're going to see how that goes. Excellent, thank you. And last and certainly not least, Simply Jackson, Leslie, tell us a little about yourself. Lucky, who has one of my favorite accents that's come out of this game so far, and what your favorite game was this year.
Okay, my name is Simple Jackson, or Leslie. I am a freelance illustrator and graphic designer, so come at me. I need money for Christmas gifts. Just kidding. In this campaign, I am playing Lucky, who is a ranger and just probably gonna try to bargain everybody he comes across. I'm really glad we ran into his mortal enemy the first episode.
Episode 1.
And my favorite game of the year is really hard for me to pick because I moved in the middle of the year, so it's hard for me to think of this as one year. But I'm torn between two. Both are Switch titles. One is Children of Mordor, which came out towards the end of this year. It's a dungeon crawler game, but it's all pixel, and the artwork is so good.
Heard very good things about that, yeah.
And then it's from the same people who did Moonlighter. It's really good. And then Tetris 99. Because I grew up playing Tetris, and it tapped into that. And my soundbite going into Mally's stream is me singing the Tetris tune because I got so hyped about it. It's so bad. It's so bad. The addiction's real, super real.
Very glad to hear it. And good choices too. Good job, guys. I like your picks. That's very nice. It's very nice. I'd say mine. Also, hi, I'm Runaway Robot. This is my channel if you don't know who I am. We do some Dungeons & Dragons stuff here, and I do variety streaming, and it's mostly Destiny 2 right now because I'm actually obsessed, but I'm totally cracked at the game, so, come watch. As for favorite game from this year, I'm not going to say too much about it because I do a full year wrap-up and actually rank all the things that I played. So I'll put a couple on the list. Fire Emblem, 3 Houses, Destiny 2 because I got back into that and that was freaking wild. I think Apex came out this year, which is a thing. Teamfight Tactics came out this year. Untitled Goose Game was a thing that came out this year. So all of these things I liked a whole heck of a lot. So I'm not going to rank them right now because then otherwise... Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2. Yeah, great game. I don't know if it was for me though because I'm terrified of everything. So... But hey, it was probably the most clipped thing I played this year, so I can't really say too much bad about it. Well, all that being said, do you guys want to play some Dungeons & Dragons where you play birds and small animal creatures and do some adventuring? That sound good? Cool, nice. So for those of you guys that might have been on a show here before, we do a thing at the very beginning that some of the players like and some of them don't like, but I make you do it anyways. And that is roll a d20. And then I'm going to roll a d20, and then whoever's closest recaps the last episode as their character saw it. And then we'll go back into the full game from there. So go ahead and give me a /R 1d20.
I forgot about this.
Go ahead and put those up there because I don't cheat, so that's going to be there.
Oh my
There we
gosh.
go. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, so if I get anything over a 6... May is recapping, so here we go.
I hope he gets a 3.
16! So there it is! May recaps because it's a 16, and everyone else rolled below a 6 and lower. Hey, you know what? You're getting the bad rolls out of the way. Bad rolls out of the way. And you guys can go ahead and take on over to your character rolls as well, too. So a little reminder for those. I'll set you with pictures. But yeah, so May, how did Dagenais see the last episode?
I have to remember what happened. Here.
True.
So I was walking into a town, and the captain of the militia, he is a woman. She fell in the town square, and Eli rushed to her and helped her. And these other two strange little individuals, they followed us into the leader of the town. And the north of us is this terribleness going on. The Ashboro, his town is completely gone. So we need to go to the capital to let them know to send reinforcements. So we gathered our supplies, and I had to grab my shield. It was very dusty. I had to make sure it was shiny. And so we set out. However, we came across some bandits, and the little individual Lucky, he seemed very agitated about this fox woman that was apparently leading this bullying of a cat woman in her cart of goods. And so we intervened. And those little raccoon bandits, some ran away, and some got skewered by my spear. Oops. And the fox lady, we told her to run away, so we let her go. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the rear. And so we helped the other bandit that was wounded, and we made a friend, Eliza. She's a merchant, and she joined our party. And so we settled down for a fire. Eli, very great at making a campfire, and so we ate. In the night, during our watch, we saw floating lights. They happened to be very fiery bats, very dangerous. They were setting the fire to all the trees. So we ran. Luckily, we escaped the bats. And now we are on our way to Winnowing Reach. And that is what has happened so far.
Perfect. Wonderful. Dagenais, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
Merci.
Yeah, so I think that covered pretty much everything. Some of the specifics are after you did pick up one of the bandits and take them with you, and they're currently with you. Towards the end, it's kind of the early-ish afternoon, and Winnowing Reach is in front of you here. So I think that's probably where we'll start things. Is you guys approaching Winnowing Reach. The Winnowing Reach is a relatively new development in the wood. It's a modest outpost, a last stop for researchers and the slime wranglers bound for the mock fields. When people began disappearing in the swamp, it was decreed that a more permanent settlement should be constructed and hold a small contingent of the Perch Guard. The Perch Guard being Alderheart's central, I guess, guard system, mostly consisting of winged friends, but there are some humble folk that are a part of the Perch Guard as well, and they're kind of your ranging guards folk for the kingdom, for lack of a better term there. To this end, the perch was hastily constructed within a small stand of willow trees. In contrast to standard perches, a decent portion of the homes and facilities here were built entirely on the ground. The closeness of the earth creates a feeling of unease and general distaste for some bird folk accustomed to high perches. But other races that make up the population appreciate the easier access to research stations and support building. So it's early afternoon. I think you are now slowly continuing to make your way. Eli was pulling the cart there. Eliza, Penny Gleam, the Allurin, a cat-like person, walking next to him. The injured bandit Mapak, who still remains nameless, sitting on the back of the cart, and the rest of the party kind of making their way either beside the cart or behind it towards the city itself. What would you guys like to do as you see Winnowing reach, maybe a couple 100 yards off?
Well, Dagenais would like to head to his house to grab his walking stick so he can give Eli back his.
Sure, yeah. So when you guys reach the city, you're more than able to do that. Is there anything you guys want to do prior to getting to the city limits?
I was just gonna straighten her cloak and make sure she looks nice. So I'll use the
Good plan, good
reflection in Dagenais' shield.
Okay.
The incredibly buffed shield, the cleanest shield. I think at some point Eli will go over to the bandit, and he'll just say, "Now, I'm not going to turn you in, but what I will do is find you a healer or somebody that can take care of you. And I hope that this experience has taught you something."
Well, that's decent of you, Hedge. Decent. Thank you.
Sorry about your leg.
She gives you a nod and, kind of rubs the leg. It's still, even after some of the healing, it's still stiff and she's been having trouble walking on it. But you have noticed that, she's made an attempt to get it kind of moving again. But yeah, she seemed appreciative. Lucky, is there anything you would like to accomplish before getting to the city itself?
Lucky's gonna ask, how long do you think we're gonna be in town? To Eli.
Well, I don't rightly know. I suppose as long as we're needed.
All right, I'm gonna go look for a wanted board, like an odd job posting, just to see if there's anything we can get done while we're here to make a little extra money. Since clearly this overall thing that we got to do for that elder is not making us any cash, So let's go and I'm gonna go see if there's anything we can do. Not a big job, something small that
All
we
right,
can divide
we
out.
just can't stay here for too long, Lucky.
No. I don't know anybody here, so I'm not looking to stuff or anything. But it would be nice. I gotta buy arrows. I had to waste 2 on those mudbox. So I can't just be eating out of my savings. I gotta make some cash. So
Understood.
all right, he's gonna try to find an outpost, which is
Yeah,
whatever.
sure. So you guys approach Winnowing Reach in the stand of willow trees that encompasses the interior of it here. I'll go ahead and you guys can take a look at Winnowing Reach here. Chat, I'll bring. Oh, this is one of the nice little pictures that is provided in the book. Each of those numbers pertains to something that exists here in the Reach, and I believe you guys should have a handout, and if not, I can get it to you right now. Okay, cool. Up gets one, you get one, you. So that handout there in your journals now should at least give you what each of the numbers are. If you have any questions about those things, then I can definitely help you out. And from what has been mentioned, from what I've heard, it looks like Dagenais would like to proceed to their house. Dagenais, now I imagine that your home is probably on the north side here, up towards the top where there's the trees up on the edge here, and some of these holes that are in the ground that look like to be homes of maybe some of the humble folk people. Knowing you're a winged one, but prefer to be on the ground, and thought maybe that might be one of the places that you would.
I'd be
you
on
would
the ground
call
hole.
home. Yeah, I like that. I think the one with the stone walkway right there, kind of to the center. I think that might be the one that best fits you there. So yeah, Dagenais, you're more than welcome to as soon as you guys get in to head that direction. As you do, Eliza stops Eli kind of right at the stand of the trees, and she nods at you each and says, "Have a rest, y'all. You're gonna need it when you escort me to Alderheart, right?"
Of course. We
Good.
we just may need to stay here for a little bit just to refresh ourselves and some of our ammunition and things we expended on the road.
Of course. I'm gonna set up center of town here, see if I can't sell any of these fine wares, and you can come find me when you're ready to head north. Now, and she gives a pointed look over at Lucky. She says, "Now, I don't have much in the way of money, but if you want something of mine, well, I'm more than welcome to pick something off the cart." So for you guys, if you actually want something from her, you can have any piece of general adventuring gear that she is carrying. So just name a thing that you might. I guess general adventuring gear generally comes out to be the things that you would find in your backpack. Arrows, Lucky, if you were looking to purchase more arrows. Staves. Simple bladed weapons, simple weapons in general. And of course, she had all of those nice, lacquered cookware and dinnerware. And also, it seems like she was carrying some rice of some kind. So if you would like anything, she is offering, and she is looking at you, Lucky.
I mean, you wanna give me some arrows so that'll cover the charge for saving you from that I had to expend. I mean,
Well, yes. I don't have any other way to thank you. I'm, right strapped for cash, and until I sell some of these things here in the Reach. But you're welcome to do a couple things, a thing off the cart if it's arrows you want. I've got a full quiver sitting somewhere in here.
Sure.
She starts digging through, and she opens up another box. Well, there they are, and she pulls out a nice leather quiver, and it's full of 20 arrows.
Thank you. And like you come closer. I understand the trouble with saying thank you, but I appreciate this. I was wondering if you noticed how much effort me and my partners put into saving you. So
she gives you a little wink. She's like, "Oh, I noticed. Just sometimes money's hard to come by, and sounds like you know that too."
I mean, I'm having good days in my bed, and he'll take the quiver and head out.
Sure, yeah. So Eliza takes the cart from you, Eli, and she, settles her shoulders and heads on into the center of town. I think that's probably when Dagenais heads off to go get their stave. Do you guys have a place you want to meet up after you go, kind of explore a little bit? For those of you that may have been in the Reach before, the Wrangler's Rest is the local inn here. And unless you were planning on staying with Dagenais, it's probably the easiest place to find a spot to stay for an evening.
Yeah, Dion is like, I don't have a big spot, but you're more than welcome to stay with me. But there is the inn in town. However, they will charge you for the bed there.
I couldn't possibly put you out, old friend. I'll go ahead and I'll meet you guys at the inn. I'm just a little thirsty.
Oh, but of course I will meet you there. Though I do have some northern bourbon back at my house as well.
You have
Yeah.
an anti-inflammatory? Got bit by that fire bat, and what if I burst into flames? I don't know. Maybe that's... Do you think they can spread that?
Well, you can check out the apothecary if they have something for that.
Okay. Where's that at? Can you point me in a general direction?
The apothecary, if you still have your map on you, is the number 5 listed there. And also, Eli, that's probably the location you would want to take your small Mapok convert for some medical care.
Yeah, so I would Eli didn't forget, but Rob forgot, so I would go there before I go to the inn.
Sure, man. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So I guess that's Pez and Eli going to head over to the apothecary. Dagenais is going to head to the house real quick. Lucky, where did you want to go again?
Lucky wanted to see if there was any sort of like odd job postings.
That's
anything
right,
like that.
a town
Yeah.
board or something like that. Yeah, sure. It seems to be there's a market towards the center of town. You could probably head that direction and probably find something. I think first we'll follow Pez and Eli. We'll keep with two people here in the group and our small Mopok former bandit maybe. And you guys head towards the apothecary there. So the apothecary. You guys walk up to it's up in a tree, but there seems to be a ladder and a stairwell for those of you guys that want to utilize it to get up and inside one of these willows. Upon entry, it's a crowded shop, very close, and there seems to be like a light smoke kind of wafting throughout the room, but to each side of you, there's just shelves on shelves of these like weird potions and like kits of things and like things wrapped in leaves and like leather packets of something. There's also an entire shelf that looks like there's just been swamp muck slapped into it. You're not entirely sure what that is unless you take a closer look at it, but it looks like there's just like swamp creatures living on shelves here. It's a little odd. There's like moss covering an entire shelf of one, and there's nothing in it except the moss, so you can only imagine that maybe it's something there. Then there's also, an entire shelf of like glass vials and stoppers and various apothecary and alchemical things. And then there's a kind of a smallish pheasant, brown feathers, spectacles sitting on their beak behind the desk at the end, and they seem to be playing that pretty wings deep in some swamp muck, and it's just like slapped onto the desk in the back. They don't seem to have noticed you come in.
These are some interesting artistic decor things. Is this like a nursery for witches? What?
Oh, who's over there? Who's that? Who's that?
Is this a apothecary?
Yes, this is the apothecary. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy at the moment. They like look up from just in this swamp muck.
Are you a medical professional?
I know medicine.
Okay. Well. Okay. Check this out. So I'm gonna show her my little bite mark. I got bit by like a fire bat. Have you heard of a fire bat? And I don't know if they were previously just regular bats who got some sort of disease and got caught on fire. Is it contagious? I don't want to get caught on fire. I've heard about spontaneous combustion. It does not seem like a fun time.
Well, fire bats are particularly inflammatory.
Eli puts a reassuring hand on Pez's other shoulder.
I don't want to die, Eli.
Well,
all right.
You've been playing around in Scorched Grove?
No, but it's actually a little closer to here. I think they're traveling. I don't know. Do they migrate? Maybe it's migration.
Migratory?
Migratory fire bats?
I'm not sure about that. But let's take a look. Come. And they wave you over, and they then note that they're just like slapping around the muck that's stuck on their feathers, and it's now covering you, Pez, and some is now on you, Eli. And like a little fleck gets into your small Mopok friend's eye, and they go,
Oh.
You go over to them, and they take a look at your arm, and they push their glasses up, and then they reach under the desk and pull out a magnifying glass, and that is now covered in swamp muck, and get really close to the biting. They reach out another mucky hand and kind of give it a squeeze. Well, this will help. And they slap your arm with some of the swamp muck.
Oh,
Let me bind that for you. And they go and get some bandages and wrap it around, and now you have a swamp mucky arm with bandages wrapped around it.
what is this?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to tell you how to do your job, but is that sanitary?
Well, the swamp things are full of little creatures. I
Oh,
can see
no.
them with my magnifying glass, and inside of the muck are these tiny little creatures that will eat away at any of the rot that might come from having been bitten by one of those disgusting bat creatures.
Will
Is
get-
it safe?
Well, I haven't died yet.
I'm not very reassured, but I'll let you know if I die.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
I would like to infer whether or not this guy is a heckin' quack.
Oh, well, it's a pheasant, not a duck, but probably pretty close, right?
Okay. God damn it.
An 11? I mean, they own an entire shop dedicated to, like, healing things. And it looks like they at least have goods, if not business?
I am going to keep a close eye on my friend Pez.
Sure.
How does it smell? What does it feel like?
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever gone tromping around in any form of swamp. I live in South Georgia, so there's a lot of swamp out here, or marsh at least. It smells... There's a certain smell that detritus has, or like, you know, how muck and sand gets after things have died and pooped in it and lived in it. And then it, like, the water recedes and it sits out in the sun for a while, but you don't reach very far and it's still got watery content to it. The easiest way to call it is, like, if you left the shrimp out too long from the refrigerator after you took it home from the restaurant.
For no reason in particular, do you have any baths around here?
Baths? Well, I suppose the inn has baths, yes?
Some nice baths, maybe? Some medicated water? I don't know. Okay, well,
Well, if you want medicated water, I can have more of that for you to go and get a jar out. And they pull out, like, a prepped jar that's just full of swamp muck.
I appreciate it, but I think I'll be all right. You've done quite enough.
Well, I'm here to provide goods and services for a reasonable fee.
Oh, well, okay, well, how much is the mud? Stinky mud.
Well, cost of goods, services, wrapping, and my expert judgment. 1 silver apiece.
Eli will step forward and cover it and just kind of give a sympathetic and possibly apologetic nod to Pez.
Eli, I believe I've made a mistake.
We'll sort this out. I'll make sure that you're all right. Worst comes to worst, I'll give my magic a shot. Apothecary, I also have another...
Thed. My name is Thed Tyr.
I'm sorry, is that Fed or Thed?
Thed.
This is Rob
He-
asking because I'm
They
deaf.
Thed, he Thed, the... It's T-H-E.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah,
I got it after the feds. It's all about the he fed, the fed
Yeah,
bullshit.
he Thed.
I hesitantly looking at the Mopok.
They are looking at you with wide eyes and kind of just like,
how do they look as far as their wound goes?
Roll me another insight check. Let's see how well you can read this former bandit Mapak.
13.
They are clearly trying to give you a sign that they don't want to be here. How do they look, though? They're definitely favoring that leg.
Unrelated. It's 10 silver to a gold, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Eli will kind of bite his cheek in thought and... Well, Thed, thank you for your service. And I know who to call when I find myself in the Reach again.
That's all you needed? You don't need any more swamp things? Goo, slimes, frogs' eyes, legs, ears?
Nope. I believe I am all squared away on all manner of body parts and swamp
also
paraphernalia.
have potions of healing? Kits with bandages and things?
How much for a healing kit?
Oh, healing kit. Yes, well, let me look here. Healing kit. Let's find out together, shall we?
That's actually one of the, like, standard things that you probably could get off of, what's her name? Off of Eliza. But I don't think it's overly... How do they name this thing? Healer's kits. Oh, so it's not healing, it's item. The healer's kit is 5 gold pieces. Contains a leather pouch containing bandages, salves, and splints. It has 10 uses. As an action, you can expend a use of the kit to stabilize a creature at 0 hit points without making a medicine check.
I think precautionarily, I would like to purchase such a thing. You said 4 gold?
5.
5 gold. It was 4 I would be left with. Okay. Copy that. Yes, I would like to purchase a healing kit.
Yeah, perfect. So Thed gets out this healer's kit and proffers it to you. You give them the 5 gold and they hand over the kit itself. I've now placed that into your
Thank you.
item list.
You beautiful son of a gun.
Does it look like a regular healing kit, or is it like
Is it dripping with mud?
You haven't opened it yet, so I don't know. We'll find out.
That's okay. I think that's a question I would like to leave unanswered for the time being and just would like to leave.
The pouch itself seems to be like a nicely made leather. It's pretty clear that they probably didn't make it. But the contents thereof, who knows?
Eli, you're so brave.
I'm just trying to do what's best for the party.
I mean, I think maybe we can just get some glass vials and go down to a swamp ourselves and fill it up with the water and then just drink it if this is the route we want to go.
Support small business?
This small business, though?
You know I'm right here, right?
No, it's been very quiet. It's fine. All right.
Oh, okay, sorry. My pheasant ears are sometimes sensitive, and I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, no, I was talking about the other shop in the other town that we just passed. The one where I got bit by the fire bats. It was run by a fire bat, and then, it bit me, and then we left. And they should definitely not be in business because you can't just go around biting customers.
I've never heard of such a town. Interesting.
Don't go there. It's terrible.
Sounds awful.
All right, have a lovely day. Just go.
You as well. Thanks for coming by. And if you ever need anything, potions, healing, kits, herbalism things, swamp stuff, and any sort of frog-related things, come see me, Thed. I'll be here.
Thank you, Thed. You have a nice day.
He kind of bobs his head, and as you turn around, you immediately hear as his feathered arms go directly back into the swamp muck that he was messing with originally. That's fun. That's fun. You guys leave, and I think we're gonna go ahead and jump on over to Lucky because Simply has their glass in their hand and they're drinking something. So I'm gonna obviously call them out on things. So you head towards the center of town. Essentially, you're walking kind of behind-ish of Eliza as she makes her way towards the center of town and the marketplace itself. So here in the center, there seems to be stalls set up of various different kinds. It looks like Eliza's probably gonna have some competition here. There's a lot of just general goods market stuff here, but there's also people that are selling just foodstuffs in general from probably outlying farms, or people that may have traveled from either towards Alderheart and the forest itself, or back from where you guys had come from as well. There does seem to be a notice board towards the northern side of that, where there's a large tree that seems to be a home to quite a few of the creatures. There does seem to be a notice board of some kind. It has a couple of different papers on it if you'd like to go up there and take a look.
Yeah, let's say Eli. I don't play that character. Lucky's gonna walk over to the board and check it out. See if there's anything that's like not an outstanding, has been there forever, but something that's a newer job. We could probably handle it quickly. They posted it recently, so to find them if they're really far out of town.
Well, speaking of recent postings, there seems to be a kind of fastidious-looking middle-aged Corvum with these drabbish black feathers. Some of them seem to be going gray, and he's nailing in a notice right now.
All right, look, he's gonna just casually walk up, not pay attention to it at first, but still kind of like side-eye to see what it is, because I don't want to make a conversation with him if I don't have to.
Sure, yeah.
Or Lucky does,
so there's a picture on there. It seems to look like a younger Corvum. They're holding like a book, and they seem to have a backpack on or something, and it says missing Kenna Brightspark, disappeared in the what are they called, the mock caverns.
I'll make a note of this again. What was their name?
Do
you mind?
Excuse me?
What was the name again? Do you mind?
Yeah, it is Kenna Brightspark.
Now, tell me this here, DM. Is this specific... What was it? Corvum?
Corvum, yes.
Yeah.
Corvums are your blackbirds, your raven-esque type creatures.
Do they look like they come from money?
This guy?
Yeah, does he look like he got some nice outfit on?
Roll me perception. I want to see how much you notice about this guy. You're definitely going to notice some things already, but I want to know how much you notice. A 12, so pretty just above average. So yeah, you take stock of him. Yeah, he seems to be in nice clothing. He has some nice pants. It looks like they're well used, but well made as well. And you know that well made clothing lasts a whole lot longer than any of the cheap stuff.
Yeah,
he also seems to be wearing a stole of some kind. It's purplish, and you're just able to catch it. It's like a symbol on it.
Okay.
And it's a symbol of a scale.
A scale. Okay. Well, clearly he's a smart guy of some sort. Didn't see very much. He's like talking to himself. Didn't see very much in the market. Excuse me, sir. My name is Lucky. I am
Yes.
I can't help but notice that you look like you need some help with that sign you just posted up there.
Yes, I'm looking for large, strong, adventuring types to help me out with them.
I know.
Persons.
Right? Don't judge a book by its cover. I got a whole team. One guy, I saw him literally through 2 bandits as we saved a tiny little cat lady. It would have made you cry.
Team, you say?
Yeah, because it's a team. Normally I would give you a break. Normally I would charge you very much for something like this job, but I got a whole team to feed. But I'm pretty sure with the spread of individuals that we got on the team, that we definitely would be able to find your lovely Kenna. Lovely girl, by the way. Lovely.
Yes, how about this? You bring by your team tomorrow to the Magistrate's office, and we'll have a discussion with all of your members there about prices and delivery and
Kenna.
You seem to think that was that a way of disgust? And should we be worried about Kenna more than just the missing person
Oh, I'm
thing?
sure she's fine. Probably. But, well, she's been missing for a couple of days now, and her family's getting worried, and it's my job as the magistrate to, make sure the things are done to have the people here safe.
Oh, so you handle, like, the overall concerns of the town here.
Yes.
So what I should tell you, I probably should wait for my friends to show up, and we might elaborate more later in case you want to know. But you got a fire bat issue outside. We had to
Fire bats.
Yeah, like scorched bats, amber bats, fire bats. They were chasing us through the woods to get here. My friend got bit on the shoulder. She's out at the apothecary right now. But you might.
Now,
You might have discussed that.
You seem like a lovely Zerbine stranger, but... Now, sorry, I don't want to believe every person that walks in here carrying a bandit captain's sword.
Wait, that's the remember I mentioned my big friend that did the through and through with the spear? It was the Vulpin who used to own this. It's just a prize of war. I don't actually own this.
Right.
Now I'll use it because it looks like it's very I'm
Ember
very
bats,
frugal. So
Ember bats aren't very well seen here in Winnowing Reach. We're far too much south and east for that.
All right, I mean, I understand you don't want to take my word for it, and you do want to meet my further friends who are here to help with your problem, but I...
Totally existing friends. I would love to meet them.
Just give me a time and place, buddy. I'll be glad to help you with your problem.
Tomorrow morning, just after first light, come to the magistrate's office. I'll have my assistant let you and your friends.
All right,
Looks like you need to
let
clean up for the meeting anyways.
Yeah, we'll be sure to put on a finest for you and your magistrates. Thanks. I'm gonna keep purveying the board for maybe other people who need help with problems too, but I'll let you move on with your very clearly important day. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you as well. And he turns.
As soon as he turns, I yank the sign off the board because it's our job.
Gotcha. Yeah. Immediately we get the camera shot. He turns 2 steps away. And then a small hand reaches up to where it is and tink, it's immediately taken off the board.
And
Perfect.
As I try to make my way to the apothecary to maybe meet them out, I'm just like,
yes, absolutely. I'm sorry he's very frustrating, but
no,
yes.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Lucky's clearly annoyed, but Leslie is fine.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna head on over to the apothecary to try and meet them on the way out. That's cool. So last and certainly not least, Dagenais, you want to head home for the moment. Is there anywhere that you want to go otherwise, or is there something that you want to accomplish at the house?
He just wants his stick. He'll probably grab his little leg brace, make sure that his home is, still okay because he's been gone a little bit. And then, yeah.
Is there anything you want to pick up at the house too that you might want? It's been a while since you've had a long trip like this.
Yeah, that's true. He will grab what do I have? That pyramid of super smelly stuff.
The pyramid of super smelly stuff?
My trinket.
What that is? Oh yeah, absolutely. You can go get that.
Yeah. He'll never know what it might come in handy for on a
sure.
on a long journey.
Yeah, okay. And you grab your other walking stick and take maybe a short rest, maybe make a cup of tea, be a little bit away from a very talkative group of people that you've happened to come across.
Tend to the garden out front for half an hour.
Yeah. Do you want to talk to a neighbor and make sure it's being taken care of, or does Dagenais not do that with their neighbors?
He'll probably get along with his humble folk.
The humble folk neighbors?
Humble folk neighbors.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to go talk to one of them, or are you good?
Yeah, he'll, as he's tending out his garden out front, he'll maybe have his bags kind of packed and ready to go kind of on the front step.
Sure.
And, You're like, salut, mon ami, how's it going? It's been a while since I've been home.
Did you have someone in mind that you were talking to?
It's probably like whoever's next door.
Whoever's next door? Okay, sure. Yeah, let's say you live next to a small Mopok family. They're kind of known as tinkers throughout the Winnowing Reach here. If someone has something that needs mending of the metal-y kind, you bring it here to this family. This is the Finchy family, which is a really odd name for a bunch of Mopoks being called Finchy, but hey, you know, and to each their own. So yeah, Lysum Finchy is kind of like leaning up against your fence and, hey, Dagenais, where do you think you're going?
Oh, well, there's some strange stuff happening in Ashboro, just north of where I was in Meadowfen. So they've asked us to go to Alderheart. So I just, I'm going to be gone for, I don't know, a while now, I think.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I was hoping you come back for a while, grab a cup of tea or two, maybe play a game of chess.
Yeah, that sounds very, very lovely. I miss our chats. But you don't mind watering my flowers a bit more, yeah?
Well, of course. Don't worry about it. Have fun on your adventure.
Oh, merci. And he'll kind of like, here's a few coppers for your trouble.
He puts out a hand and pushes it back to you. Business has been real good, Dagenais. Don't worry about me.
Oh, you sure? You can get the kids something nice from one of the markets.
Strokes his mop-hawk snout and reaches out and grabs one copper and says, "Some sweet rolls." And he kind of turns and walks out to the market and says, "Have fun."
Oh, merci, my friend. He grabs his stuff and he's gonna, I guess, have now 2 walking sticks in hand. He's gonna make
sure. You're well packed right now. Luckily, you're very strong. But it's double the sticks to lean on, right? You'll be fine. So yeah, I guess you guys, did you say you were gonna meet over at the Wrangler's Rest after all of it was done? I know, Lucky, you're going to meet Peasant Eli outside of the Apothecary there. And I think you do. They're probably heading towards the Wandering Rest, and you kind of meet them halfway. And then eventually you're also met by Dagenais before you walk inside. Before we get to that point, though, Eli, what do you do with this Mopok?
I look at, after we left the apothecary, I look at her and I look at Pez. Well, I've met medicine men from all walks of life, but I have to say that was the first time I met anybody quite like him.
Put bugs on my wound, and I would like to get them off immediately.
Yeah, I think before you go to sleep tonight, you should have a wash and come see me.
DM, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
I keep reading your name as Eli and trying to read it then on my character sheet or say it instead of my own. Lucky has Natural Explorer of Swamp. Would Lucky know of the healing natures of this mud? These.
Ooh. Potentially. What is your medicine roll as well?
Let me just roll it. I can go.
No. Like, what's the bonus on it?
Wisdom.
Okay. So what is your
1 modifier?
+1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So give me 2 rolls. Give me nature and medicine.
Okay. Oh, great. Nature is good. The nat 20 minus 1, 19 on nature, and a 10 on medicine.
Turns out you know a whole lot about swamp nature. Maybe not so much of the medicinal impacts of a lot of these things, but you know that the swamp is a valuable resource in this region.
Nice.
A lot of the times, a lot of potions and apothecary things are made out of things that come out of the swamp, specifically slimes. Slimes are a very specific type of creature that have a bunch of weird medicinal and magical uses. And Winnowing Reach was originally built because researchers were going out to the swamp and collecting slime and harvesting these creatures out there. They tend to be kind of dangerous,
If
but
I
they can
knew
also...
this was of value, would I ever have stolen some?
Would you have stolen some slime?
Bandit work in the swamp.
Potentially at some point you might have. You know that it is valuable to apothecary people, yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
For its kind of medicinal use. Absolutely. So you would probably know that. Now, the medicinal nature of swamp muck, period, not so sure. Not so sure about that. And the whole, like, bugs thing, you're like, yeah, you know that there's, like, microbe things. You understand that there's tiny little bugs that, like, live in the muck because that's what gives the muck its smell because it eats all the dead stuff. So you understand that portion of, like, the, quote, circle of life of the swamp.
Okay.
But you're not necessarily sure if that has medicinal use.
I imagine that, like, Lucky would have at least, like, noticed the smell coming off of you, therefore sparked this conversation about, like, why do you smell like the swamp? Like, what?
This person so I asked for medicine, and then they're like, mud is medicine, apparently. There's, like, bugs in it, and the bugs are gonna eat me, and I don't think that sounds like medicine.
Wait. Did they say it was specifically swamp mud, like swamp muck? You smell like it.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know very much about this, but I do know that if you got maybe some dead skin or something, those bugs are probably pretty good at, like, getting rid of it. But I don't know if it's gonna heal you. I don't think it's gonna hurt you, though. Unless you just don't like being a little dirty. That's fine.
I've had spa treatments before, and it hasn't been this stinky, and I prefer that over this. I want this off. I can't.
How much did you pay for that treatment?
Well, Eli got it because he was super nice, but it was a silver.
Just a hard eye roll. How much did you pay for that treatment?
It's just a silver. I mean, the man.
I mean, that was like a bargain. Usually, I mean, I can tell you that stuff's probably worth a lot more. They're probably giving you a good steal on that bit of a top off on your wound. But I mean, you know, if you want to wash it up. You could also jar it up and maybe sell it a little bit if you wanted to.
How confident are you that this is not going to hurt Pez?
I can tell you I've spent many of my life years so far tromping around in that swamp mud, and I didn't lose my feet, so...
Did you rub it directly into open wounds?
I mean, clearly I'm a hard-battled Jerbean. I've gotten a lot of wounds, gotten a lot of dirt in them, and I haven't died. You're not gonna die, sweetheart. You're gonna be fine.
But what if my arm falls off? I can't play instruments without my arm.
Oh, you'll be mighty fine. That would not... He would not steer you wrong. He heals everyone of this village.
Does he put bugs in everyone?
Oui.
Ooh.
It is... Well, we have to use what the nature has given us. I've lived here a long time. He would not hurt you. It's fine.
I mean, if he does hurt you, you can always go back and let the magistrate, who I just met, I gotta tell you a whole story about let him know how he's causing problems, and maybe get some cash out of that. Like, oops, he hurt me, and then now you gotta pay my bills. Something like that.
Your brain works very quick.
I mean, you can't say I haven't done it before. It works sometimes.
I'm very stinky, and I don't want to be stinky anymore, basically.
Yeah, the smell is pretty pungent. I could smell it like walking up the path. I mean, it was like she's got swamp on her. So
there's a smell I did not notice.
Yeah,
I'm glad your skills in your eyesight.
Oh, it just smells like the rest of the town.
How far away is the town we're supposed to go to? Do we have to stay here?
So,
speaking of staying here,
for those of you guys that might know, I don't know how far you've traveled in your day, Pez. Winnowing Reach, this isn't even the halfway point from Meadowfen to Alderheart. This is, you would definitely have maybe 2 or 3 more days of good hard walking to get to Alderheart.
If it's all downhill, we could just push the cart and roll.
It is not all downhill. You're actually heading towards mountains. So eventually some hills are going to show up. Yup. Sorry. But you can get cleaned up at a very nice place called the Wrangler's Rest, of whom you are now having this conversation outside of. But inside you can hear the clinking of glasses, happy voices, a little bit of music, and some very nice smells.
I mean, if you need to wash it off, we can go in there and you can get a room and have a bath. I'm sure you'll come out sparkling and new, just like always. So. I'm not gonna say you should keep it, but it might help a little bit. You know, ride it out. Maybe you could have a little nice glass of like wine or something while you wait on it.
That sounds nice, but also I don't want anybody to smell me like this either.
Nobody. I don't. Has anybody been like turning their heads to see her stink?
No one.
Yeah,
Nobody's.
Drop some wine.
Oh, I'm sure that, at least half of the people in there will have the same thing somewhere on them. They're not going to notice.
Oh, all right.
We can sit in the far corner if you wish.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put my hood over my head, just like that.
If you are worried, just blame it on me.
Oh,
Tell him it's me that it smells. I don't care.
I can do that.
I mean, I do it for you if that's what you.
Oh,
Is that what you need?
oh no, that's okay. I'm just gonna.
No offense, Dagenais. I'm just saying, volunteer.
No worries.
You're very kind, and I very much appreciate it. But maybe just it's fine. We can deal with it. Just
I do agree with
Good.
the back corner situation because we got.
Yeah.
I would like to discuss a potential job opportunity with us, but I can't do it because that's all I'm saying. So.
Yeah. So do you guys head inside the Wrangler's Rest?
Yeah, I think I'll turn to the Mopok and just say, I want you to take care of yourself. I'm not going to make you go back to Thad, but from what it sounds like, it's not as dangerous or dire as we thought earlier. You're welcome to join my friends and I for a drink. But otherwise, I think this is...
I appreciate your kindness. I do. But I just lost a couple friends of mine. You know, speared through pretty handedly by your pal there, and now my former captain, and run off in disgrace. I think this might be where we part ways. Now, she kind of gestures over towards Dagenais, who's holding 2 walking sticks. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to borrow, since I'm not part of that bandit life anymore, borrow one of those staves.
Oh, of course.
I'll be on my way.
Eli, can I give this one is yours?
And Eli will nod and take it from you and hand it to the Mopok.
He takes and nods, and well, good luck, y'all. Those fire bats are any indication, got important work ahead of you. And thanks for showing a bandit a little bit of kindness and maybe teaching me a thing or two. I'll take it to heart. And they're gonna turn and walk back towards the center of town.
I'll turn to the others and... Well, shall we?
Lucky, who's been like super annoyed by the continuing conversation, is like, yeah, I mean, bye, see you later, and then
Yeah. So you guys enter the Wrangler's Rest. And yeah, it seems to be full of people. Some drinking, some eating. Some seem to be taking a break. It's, kind of mid-afternoon now. Some seem to be done with the working day or taking a break before heading off to maybe a night shift. There's some music playing. And there seems to be a very busy male hedge running around. Big apron on, large belly, big spines kind of hanging out the back. Big smile on his face, too. And he's at every table bringing out food or drinks, heading behind the bar. Seems to know everyone by name and is definitely laughing a whole lot. But yeah, welcome to the Wrangler's Rest. As you enter, this gentleman, this hedge sees you there, and he goes, "Well, hey there, I'm in bed. Welcome to the Wrangler's Rest. Now, what can I do you for?"
We'd like a table in the back, preferably.
Oh
away
yeah,
from the door.
sure. Yes, head on back there. There should be a couple of those there. Now, can I get you a couple drinks and maybe some food? No, maybe you look like people from out of town here, except for you over there, Dagenais. Good to see you once again. Who are your friends here? You guys visiting from out of town? Now, watch the spines as I come back behind you here to get a little prickly, a little hedge humor there. But you head on back there. I'll bring you some drinks, maybe some of the food, and it'll be about, 3 to 5 copper a piece. If you decide to stay the night, it'll be about 8 copper.
Much obliged.
We'll ask Dagenais about the specials on your menu. One with that was a lot at one time. I'm gonna find the seat.
Just scoots around and head back to the table.
Daniel, yeah, we'll have just the usual whatever you've got cooking on the fire tonight. Nothing fancy,
Sure. Yeah, we've got plenty of frog legs tonight, though. Brought them in fresh shipment. Those being coated in slime and then boiled for about 3 or 4 hours, and putting a couple of nice herbs and spices out there from the swamp. Yeah, I'll bring them by. Don't worry about it.
Oh, très bien. Oh, no.
Now, you want ale, wine, or beer?
Oh, what would you like? I would some the ale would be good, yes.
Yeah, the ale's wonderful. Now, you head on back there, and if that's all you want, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a couple of platters, and yeah, I'll be by.
Well, sir, real fast, I'm actually a traveling performer. Is there any way I could possibly work for?
Is that right?
Yeah. I'll whip out my little thing like it's just a little doot.
Oh, yeah.
A doot a little flute tune.
Do a little flute tune. Give me a quick performance check. Let's see how well you perform under pressure here.
Ha!
A 20!
Ah!
He's floored. He's absolutely floored. Dagenais, why are you hiding your friends from me like that? Now, what was your name?
My name's Pez.
Pez, I'm gonna need you to kick those performers off there and give my people a show.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be over there if anybody needs me. Okay.
I'll bring you your food and your stuff and your ale over there too, so don't worry about it. Now the rest of y'all, you want to go head down to the back, then go for it.
Thank you kindly.
He turns, trying not to poke you with his large hedge spines, and you guys go find a place towards the back. On the way, and Pez, on the way to the front, you do notice that there are 3 or 4 other patrons here that have these wrappings that you can entirely tell have the same swamp muck that are wrapped inside of it.
I'll just nod to them like,
They kind of give you a curious look. You're a very colorful character here. You're not really... People of your coloration, of your feather coloration, aren't generally known to travel towards Winnowing Reach and the swamp areas. So they notice you and you're nodding at them, and they see you approaching the other musicians up on the stage. And you take note that there's a strig there and another kind of pheasant-looking creature. And one seems to be playing a little pipe. Kind of like a pan flute looking thing, and the other one's playing a small drum. And they kind of sort of stop their song and see you looking at them. What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm from out of town, a little traveling performer, and bartender guy, the guy, hedgehog running around,
Yeah.
he pointed me towards the stage and was like, "Hey, perform over there," and I was like, "Okay." So, are you done? Is it okay if I scooch in here? Do you mind?
Oh, you better be paying us full price for this.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't discuss that with him. But he seems nice. He seems honest. Right?
Getting a stranger to come here and play. Billy, let's get out of here. The pheasant picks up their thing, and the strig, who's rather large, picks up their drum and kind of give you a little glare, and they step down off the stage.
It's very nice to meet you. Have lovely time, drink some beer, and then, this bar, have fun.
As they storm off, Eli would like to have been coming up with Pez's drink and his drink, and almost like bump into. Oh, excuse me. And here, I for your performance, just wet the whistle, as it were.
Oh, thank you. Do you think they're mad? They seem a little. Do you think it was me? Did I do something?
No, not at all. You know what? Performing types, they get a little on their DM. Do horses exist?
Yeah, sure.
They're high horse.
Good question. I think so. Everything that exists in the regular D&D world technically exists here. They just also happen to have these races of creatures. So
Great.
Yes.
Okay, high mount of some sort.
Yes.
And I'll hand Pez their drink, and as I do it, I'll kind of like clasp them lightly on the arm and cast guidance.
Oh yeah, go yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So guidance, if I remember correctly, is plus D4 to any check.
Sure is. Let me toss it down there. Boop.
Yeah, so guidance. You touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a D4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of their choice. I mean, roll them before or after, and then the spell ends. It lasts up to 1 minute. Concentrated on by your friend here, Eli.
Thanks, Eli. And I know. Do I know what it is?
I don't know what you. I mean, it's verbal and somatic. I have no idea what the components of this that you use, Eli. It seems like a clap on the shoulder is your somatic component, and your verbal is just like a word of
a word of encouragement. Just like break a leg out there.
Let's go. I'm gonna do some flutes, and then we're gonna get some meals, and it's gonna work out real good. Okie dokie. Yep, I'll be right over there, I guess, at some point eventually. Okay, it's music, doing the music stuff. All right.
Doing the music stuff. Yeah, so roll me a performance check. You do have an inspiration point here, and you now have your guidance as well. So an inspiration, if you chose to use it, will allow you to make the roll at advantage. The guidance will just let you add a D4 to whatever the roll is.
Okay.
Or you can roll it straight and do however you want.
I'll try the guidance thing.
Okay, sure. So roll me a performance check. 23. That's before any D4 added. Holy crap! You're one. That's a 19, by the way. Rolled on the die. You can add a D4 to that if you'd like. There's no other reason for you to use it, so roll a D4.
Okay.
Please max it.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
This
That
is
is
the
one
single
off of
best performance these country bumpkins have ever seen in their entire lives.
I'm worried that they may not even understand what they're about to listen to.
Too
They
high
can
art.
see the music.
It is so high art. Pez, describe for me what you do. The performance check here is how these people are going to react to it, but what do you do?
Well, she pulls out this long flat rock thing and sets it up against a chair, and it falls, and then she picks it back up and sets it up against the chair. And then she takes out her little flute and starts like tapping out a rhythm on the stone with her claws. So like little scrapes make light noises, and like taps make little thumpy noises. And then she has this owlos, and it's like a two-sided flute thing. It looks really weird, but it plays like really kind of deep, ethereal sounding tunes. And I want the pheasant to cry.
Oh yeah. So it's haunting. The tune that's playing, the people, they're like talking and they're kind of raucous, and a couple of people are like, oh, what happened to the music? And we get this shot of Pez setting up and all of like the little rocks and things and the owlos and sitting in a stool, kind of straight backed, very professional looking. Especially comparatively to the country folk that have been playing previously. And we get the shot over Pez's shoulder of like them arguing with the tavern keeper and him trying to placate them about having Pez be up on the stage. And then Pez's tune starts and it's hauntingly quiet and soft and builds. And as it builds, people begin to take notice and everything becomes very, very quiet throughout the tavern. And as the song kind of builds through whatever this would have been, maybe it's a song about loss or a loved one, at the back, it is so beautiful that yes, not only does the pheasant have a tear in their eye, but there is not a dry eye in the tavern itself. And as Pez finishes their tune, there is raucous applause, just wild applause. And they stand and cheer every person in there. And there's like 20 to 25 people. And you notice as you'd been playing, people were like outside at the windows listening in. And they're all out there cheering and clapping. There's like children out there and you see little tears in their eyes while they're out there, little gerbean children too. And then the tavern owner, Enbed, comes up and says, whoo, well, that was the best thing I've ever heard. Drinks on the house for me tonight for you and your friends. Wow.
Well, sir, thank you for letting me have the stage. It was a lovely crowd. I'm just glad they could listen to the tunes. My name's Pez. Look me up in a couple years. I'm gonna be big.
This is the type of event that this town will be talking about for probably years. This strange, light-colored, feathered bird comes in from out of town. No one knows who they are. This Luma plays an instrument they've never seen before. And it is the most beautiful thing they've ever heard in their entire lives. Yeah, this is one of those things that gets stories built out. So congratulations, Pez. You have made an impact in the Reach that's going to last a while. That's going to last a while. So cool. Yeah. It turns out not only are your drinks paid for, but room is paid for and your food's paid for by all of the other patrons there because they're just hoping that maybe Pez stays another night to give them another rendition of whatever they just heard. And people throughout the night come up to Pez and continue to congratulate you. And they want to shake your hand and they want to know about your instrument. And they continue to do so throughout the evening. Now, Pez, I don't know if you as a person know this, but Pez as a bard would probably know this if they've been performing for a while. There's a very particular way that you are able to order drinks when people want to buy you drinks that the innkeeper will understand it as you want them to just give you a water and keep the money for later. And the tavern keeper will take a small cut, but you will then be provided with whatever the cost of the drinks were that you would have been given. So Pez, would you like to take advantage of that situation?
I very much would.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. That performance check was absolutely nuts, by the way. So, hey, congratulations to you. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Is there... I think as things maybe die down, Lucky you might actually be able to get a word in edgewise about this job you heard about that you're supposed to go talk about in the morning. Pez is getting a lot of attention right now, so, hey, however you guys want to handle it.
I mean, it's a good distraction if you guys. I mean, Pez, if you wanna continue doing your thing, you're doing great. I mean, I was crying. Don't tell anybody, but I was crying. And we can give you the notes about it later if you want. I mean, you're very easy to fill in if you want to keep just raking in that free stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Money and stuff is good, right? Buy more mud with it.
Just do me a favor, and if you see anybody like giving us a bit of a queer eye, like stink eye, like query, like look kind of thing, then just be like, shh.
I'm very good at noticing things.
You got this. All right.
With
All right.
big eyes.
And Lucky's gonna pull out this probably larger than Lucky's normal size piece of paper and like fold it out just a little bit bigger since the core one was using it or whatever, and like slide it across the table and be like, all right, so I went and looked at the notice board, and there was a very studiousy looking Corwin there. I'm not gonna say he was the nicest, but he is doing his job, I guess. But apparently there's this missing girl named Kenna in the Mox Cavern, I think. And they might be offering a good reward. He didn't necessarily like the look of me, but I mean, only the studious do. So like, I told him we might meet him tomorrow and talk about his job. Clearly, there's somebody who needs some help. Eli, you favor helping folks clearly. But also, like, might make a little extra money for us.
Oh,
Would-
that does sound a bit dire. Dagenais?
So would Dagenais know who Kenna is being from here?
Potentially, yes. Let's see if you have memory of them. Or just roll me just a history check or an intelligence check, just depending on which one's higher. It doesn't really matter.
About the same.
Yeah, they probably are, but it was just in case you were proficient in history. But otherwise, it's just a flat intelligence check. A 1. You don't recognize the name. But that's not entirely, like, crazy. Winnowing Reach it's on a main road, coming straight from Alderheart, and there's a lot of reason for people to pass through here, especially to head to the Mock Fields and the swamps there, as well as the Mock Caverns, because of the slimes that live there.
So, like, if you want to help him, we go see him tomorrow. Also, I might have happened to mention the fire bats that were chasing us. He clearly didn't believe me, so obviously it is a very strange occurrence in this area. So, for my own, ego, would you mind telling him you guys are very obviously trustworthy people? I'll have to work on that a little bit, I guess. But, it'd be nice for at least some of these nice villages to know. Don't tell anybody I can't, but I'm just saying.
Eli will smile knowingly at Lucky and just...
Maybe just call it the ale, okay?
No, you're right. We should warn the village. Dagenais, do you have a relationship with the do we know what, like, the hierarchy here is? Like, is there a mayor? Is there...
The magistrate will be the ruling person here, so it would have been the person that Lucky met. There is a town goal, which is basically like their jail, but it's also serves as like a small barracks for the perch guard that is stationed here as well. So the magistrate would be in charge of Winnowing Reach. The perch guard is the extension of Alderheart's law.
Got it. Dagenais, do you have a relationship with the magistrate?
He's a very busy individual. I'm more would you say working class, since I don't really take to the heights as much these days. So I've of course know to see him, and we've made eye contact a few times.
You know this. His name is Walden Crane, the magistrate of Winnowing Reach. He seems to be he's a kind of a fastidious guy, easily agitated, middle-aged-ish, getting on in his gray feather years, Corvum. He's a prominent political figure here in the region. You've noted that he's not necessarily, like, good or kind, but he seems to be reasonable and has a very particular sense of honor and promises being kept. And you remember that from you and your carpentry team, basically delivering on jobs. He had a very strict expectation about how the contracts would be met to the letter as agreed to. So he will not break his bargains and doesn't tolerate anything that would be conceived as oath breaking or dishonesty or anything of that nature. He does seem to care deeply for his citizens, but sometimes it like doesn't come across very well. He's a difficult guy to. It's hard to see that he cares, but it's very clear that in the way that he handles himself in the political station, that he does care about the Reach and its people.
Yes, so if he didn't believe you, we just have to make him believe that this is a issue. He will take care of it, not a problem. As long as we show him that there's a true concern, that he will see this through.
I think it'd be smart to bring along Eliza if she could spare a little bit of time tomorrow. I mean, she clearly might be somebody who's visited this town a good bit, you know?
Of course, yeah.
She's the person we saved. He questioned my sword. She could vouch to be very nice, you know?
No, it's definitely. She would be helpful and providing proof to the situation. Yeah.
I have faith that with enough people warning him of this, he'll do what's right for his people.
Well, and the closer the bats get, it's going to be undeniable, really.
Of course. Well, the more he can prepare, or the more time he has to prepare, the better. So,
of course.
I say we speak to him sometime tomorrow then.
Yeah, I would recommend, and Dagenais, you do a great job as already, and Eli, but we don't really carry a as finely polished stature as Dagenais, and he didn't seem to take too kindly to me having a little just a little bit of dust on my boots, so we might have to make sure we got our stuff clean.
Well, he's very professional that way. He just wants to make sure that this is a job that he posted. He just wants to make sure that he hires the right people.
Well, all I'm gonna say is he only posted one sign. This is the one sign, so we're probably the only
took
people.
It from.
Yeah, we can put it back if he says no or something. I just want to make sure that we got a good job.
Oh, I see. Yes. And what do you think? We have time to go find this girl? You don't think it? I guess we'll find out more details in the morning, eh?
I mean, we only have so much rice in the rice bag to make it 3 or 4 days on the Alderheart. So it'd be nice to have a little extra pad, and just in case we gotta, bargain for any other snacks. He elbows over to Pez.
I think Pez is doing a good job about that, eh?
Yeah. I mean, she can maybe she can get a little extra off of you guys. But I mean, yeah, if you don't wanna, we can leave the girl behind in the
No. The girl needs to. We need to at least locate her to make sure she's okay. No, I don't want to leave this. If the magistrate has posted this, it is serious. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine the elder back in the Reach would be alright with us making like a side thing to help somebody. I mean, they seem like they cared a lot about souls of people.
Well, as long as it doesn't take us, several weeks, yeah. But a few days, not a problem.
What do you think, Eli?
I agree. I think that we of course can spare the time. Unfortunately, due to the situation with the militia, maybe not as much time as I'd like to spend here helping these people, but I think it's only right.
I'm gonna elbow Pez. Hey Pez, what do you think about that? Are you alright? You wanna do it?
Oh, I'm here. Hi. Whatever you guys decide. I'm just I'm not gonna venture off on my own because I'm quite a target. Remember when I tried to hide behind that rock that one time? It didn't work out very good. So I'm just.
And you're famous now.
That's
Oh, no.
true. Maybe we can find you a cloak that is more green and brown colored.
Okay, but this
My-
one matches my feathers real good, and it's shiny, and I like it a lot. And
Oh, no, it's very beautiful. But that's more for like right now for performing. But when on the road, if we come across bandits again, that is not useful.
this is my brand. How will the bandits know that it was the Great Peasant Company?
He looks very confused. Like, oh. Okay. Just I guess hide behind me then.
I mean, I can teach you a few tips and tricks here and there if you'd like. I mean, I don't want you to get shot at again or whatever. So
Maybe I should just get a headband for this. Just
yeah. I think making yourself shorter would probably help a little bit, but just don't ruffle them because they obviously help your performance level whenever we're getting free stuff. I mean, whenever you're like making people feel the mooded things, you know.
I mean, both of those things are very good. I like both those things. Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair. This you know more about adventuring than I do.
Also, if you don't mind, I did tell the magistrate that you got bit by one of those fire bats. So, would you be kindly enough to show him the bite just in case, so he know? I mean, like, he did not believe me, you guys. He was just like, no, yeah, right, you know.
But it is understandable that they're not usually this far over, right? So it is I would say a uphill battle to explain this to him.
Yeah, but I mean, I think fire spreads pretty fast. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth any and all effort that we can give to this situation. And, you know, I think a respected citizen of the Reach, a merchant on the road who can bear or provide a account of the events that took place yesterday. He looks at Lucky, a very capable, very trusted scout of the forest, and well, the Reach's most recent celebrity. I think among the five of us, we should be able to convince him.
I mean, what else could it have possibly been? How do you mistake fire bats for anything else? It was just like a group of angry fireflies without fire bats. I don't. This man
Fair
seems
enough,
very
and I
good.
mean, they can have gotten far if he can even spare if he doesn't believe us and he can spare a couple of guard, they're sure to see something.
all right. So he said tomorrow, and I'm sure that I remember the time, right?
Yeah, it was just after the sun comes up. Just go see him.
It's a little early, but you know, extra time we can do it. You know.
Okay. I think at this point in time, it's been late afternoon for a while, and it's gotten into the evening. And I think we'll resolve either the rest of this night and or the early morning after a brief break. I know we started a little bit late, so this is about this time that we should be taking a break. It's a little bit late too, but we're going to take our first break here on DieFall Alderheart episode 2, and we'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Hey guys, thank you again for tuning in to DieFall Alderheart episode 2. If you need to get caught up on anything here from the previous DieFall episodes or any of the other Dungeons & Dragons stuff that we do on the channel, you can head on over to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/runawayrobot. Or if you'd like to watch it in podcast form, you can head on over to Spotify, iTunes, or SoundCloud and put in DieFall Dungeons & Dragons, and you'll find us there. You can catch the previous episode as well as all of the other stuff that we've been doing in those locations. If you want to follow us on Twitter and see when we go live, as well as any of the funny clips that we post and new show announcements, new cast announcements, fun things like that, that's at DieFall_RPG. Big thank you to everyone who has followed this evening. It's wonderful. Dark Juicebox, thank you for gifting a sub to Simply and gifting a sub to Malaveth. That was very kind of you. Thank you so much. Gelatin Guy, Dragons of Albion, Someone to Be, Joe King Care, Artsy Robots. Thank you all for your follows this evening and welcome to the factory. And Abby Cadabra, thank you for the follow as well. Nix the Third, thank you for your resubscription at 25 months. 25 months. That is just over 2 years. That is actually wild. I can't believe we've been doing this for just over 2 years. Holy moly. Wow. With the holidays coming up, guys, do be aware that we are going to have this show a little bit more sporadically. I know that Simply is out next week and May is out the week after. So there's at least going to be a 2-week hiatus here for us with the upcoming shows. We'll keep you updated on Twitter as well as in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, I'll drop a link in the chat here below. And you are more than welcome to do that. If you're listening to this, it's discord.gg/GTWSAWE. We'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes to see the cast getting themselves settled here soon. And we'll continue on our adventure. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone, to DieFall Alderheart Episode 2. Part 2, just after the break. And where we left off, the group had decided that this odd job sounded like just the job for them to go talk to the Magistrate about. We're still off the high that is Pez's performance here. Is there anything else that you guys want to accomplish this evening, or are you going to head to your rooms and take a nice, rightly deserved rest? Yes, Lucky.
I was gonna ask, out of character, to Mally, what would Pez's songs be written about? Like, what life experiences or whatnot would Pez be like sharing the tales of?
Wow. Well, she has a journal that she keeps where she just like does little scrapbooking things where she'll like pick leaves and flowers that she likes and just put them into a little book. And then use kind of that as some inspiration. But mostly it's about just stuff she sees and hears, and she likes combining like nature sounds because she uses like the rock and then like the wind instrument and stuff. So it's just kind of combining a bunch of like elements and things as she's like traveling around, so you can find different things just to kind of collect and stuff in her pockets.
Super cool. I was just like, what stories would Pez expend?
That we all cried.
I know how to not get dirty. Let's go.
Yeah.
Basically.
Cool. Okay. So in character, do you guys want to do anything this evening, or the bar is winding down? People do have to work the next day, and those that have not already passed out at their tables and are being hauled away by their friends have either gotten rooms here or are, tying maybe one too many on at the bar.
I imagine Dagenais probably has started to doze off a few times in his chair. He's kind of like,
yeah, you're like head back against the wall, and you're like,
Eli will notice and kind of lean forward and just put a gentle hand on your shoulder to rouse you and just, would you like me to walk you back, my friend?
oh, was I hope I wasn't snoring. Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Not at all.
That would have taken away from Piz's earnings.
Do you need to be walked home?
Oh, if you could store the extra stuff I brought with you, I can stumble my way home.
Eli isn't exactly confident at the use of the word stumble, and so will offer to walk with you back. I'll take care of all the things when I get back.
Oh.
I love it. Okay, so Eli and Dagenais are going to make their way across town all the way to the north side of the city.
Yeah.
And drop off Dagenais there. Pez and Lucky, what are you doing?
Lucky is not used to the idea of having to keep his clothes finely polished and cleaned, so is gonna call an early night to make sure he gets a little bit of extra work on that done, because he's kind of got a thorn in his side and wants to show up and impress.
Looking really
yeah,
fresh.
I want to turn
Yeah.
this guy's opinion around and be like, hey, got it, Mary. You know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess you'd probably ask Enbed if there was like a washroom of some kind for you to utilize.
Yeah.
And he says yeah, and there's actually a room upstairs that has a couple of like bathing areas in it. A couple of separated ones, and it's late, but he said he would prep you one if that's what you wanted.
I mean, if it doesn't bother you, I'm just kind of like I probably like to take a bath before going to bed. I gotta get up early. There's a lot of I'm sure you know a lot of business happening. So,
All right, yeah, we'll get that headed up for you just in case your other two friends seem to have headed out. Hey there, Pez. Did you want a bath as well? I saw in the house, of course, after that swell performance.
Oh well, yeah, that would be quite nice. Also, would it be possible to get a little like side plate of crackers and then maybe like a glass of wine, possibly?
For
a
you,
bath?
Pez. Well, yeah, Pez, just anything for you as well. And he looks around. Doesn't look like anyone's buying any more drinks, but and he comes by and he like kind of surreptitiously drops some coins onto the table, and he goes, "Well, this is your cut for the evening. And come by in the morning. I'm gonna grab something special for you after that. I think this is something that people are gonna talk about in the Reach for a very long time."
Oh my gosh, you're just darling. This is a lovely town. Definitely
like he's just
come
like
back.
wide eyeing the money, like.
How is it? Does it seem like a fair amount?
I mean, you already have everything paid for, so I don't know what you were expecting. But for as many people as are like buying you drinks and things of that nature, it's probably too much. He paid you like 2 gold and 2 silver. So it's 3 total gold worth of money, which in a town like this, for the price that you're like, the price of each of the ales here is like a copper. The price of a room for the night is 5 copper. So it's like, this is a lot. Either a lot of people are trying to buy you drinks and you're trying to remember all of them, or he may be paying it forward a little bit for what you've done for him in the evening.
Ah, so nice. Really quick out of the game, just because I don't know how much gold I have or I started off with.
Yeah, sure. It should be on your sheet if I didn't add it already. You had some for your background.
Okay, yep, I got it. Okay, cool, thanks.
So you'll have 2 more of those and then 2 silver. The mark 2 down or 2 up from that.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, so the baths are prepared for you in these 2 little separate rooms. And there's actually, you probably would have specified, Lucky, that you might have wanted to like clean some clothes and things like that. So there's like a washboard there and actual like detergent as well if you want to use that, in a small bucket next to it if you're going to utilize it. And he's totally understanding about all that. He doesn't necessarily offer to help, but he does prepare all of these things for you to utilize. Pez, you're brought a nice-ish glass of wine, and some. You said crackers, but it's more like it's like when a baguette gets a little bit stale-ish, but it gets toasted, so it's a little okay, right? But so it's kind of crunchy like a cracker, but it's not necessarily a cracker. But he does give that to you, and it has like a side of honey and some butter with it as well. And he provides that for you. So yeah, you guys are more than welcome to get cleaned up and have a little snack and head on yourselves to bed. That's the plan there. Okay, cool. We'll jump on over quick to Dagenais and Eli. Dagenais, before the cat takes down the microphone, we're gonna go figure out how you guys make it across the way there. Dagenais, are you sober enough to direct your friend to the house?
I don't think he's had too many.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Constitution is one of his highest.
True. I think you're probably okay. And you guys kind of make your way across the town. Do you talk about anything, or is it kind of a quiet walk?
So, Eli, have you been here before? I feel like I've only chatted with you in Meadowfen.
Well, it's been a while since I stopped in town, but I pass through every now and again.
It's a good spot to live. Yeah, it's nice. Not too big like the city, and not
Mm-hmm.
not too small that you can't get what you need.
Happy medium.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. It's a nice town.
Yes. How did you meet your the little friend Lucky?
Lucky and I go back a ways. We traveled the same path in life for some time, and I see myself as sort of a mentor. Lucky is finding their way one day at a time, and he doesn't like to admit it, but he's got a good heart.
He doesn't seem like the religious type.
Oh no, nothing like that, but doesn't make him a bad person.
Oh no, not at all. He does seem like a solid individual to have around. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's got sticky fingers. I could do without that, but
No, that
know.
it could get us trouble in Alderheart if we're not careful.
Yeah. It's a good kid. He knows better.
Hopefully. But this street, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
right over here.
down at the end here, the little the stone steps.
Oh, this is
the-
nice.
Yeah, with the red door. I need to repaint it, but that will have to be for when I get back.
Oh, of course. Well, let me know. I'd be happy to help you.
Oh, merci. Yeah. You okay to get back to the
Oh, of course.
the inn,
Of course.
I've got a lovely soft mattress with lots of
Nah,
cat fur.
couldn't possibly impose. I'll join the others at the bar, but I'll see you in the morning.
Yes, make sure that no one takes my stuff. Yeah.
Of course. I'll take good care of it, I promise.
Yes.
All right. Good night, Dagenais.
Oh, good night. Bonsoir.
You guys are so nice. So yeah, Eli, you head off from the house, Dagenais. You plop yourself down wherever you might and take a nice little rest. And Eli, you head back to the tavern, the Wrangler's Rest, without any issue. It's a rather safe town. I'll be a perception check though.
Oh boy. Okay, here I go. That's a 4. Natural 1.
Well, that's a natural 1. Okay, good to know.
Great.
Good to know, Eli.
Super choice.
Good to know.
Really stoked about that.
You make your way to Wrangler's Rest without any issue.
Sure about that?
So far.
Okay.
You're fine. You're good. You get back to the Wrangler's Rest and your friends are not in the common room. The common room is quiet and pretty dark at this point. You note that Enbed is scrubbing down some tables and he sees you come in. He goes, "Oh, hey there. Friends just headed upstairs, take a little bath and do some cleaning up. See, I could prep you one if you want, but it's getting a little bit late here. So if you don't mind sharing with one of them or maybe doing a little bit of a sponge bath this evening, it'd be, it'll be helpful for me so I could head home to the missus. I'm going to lock up here and head on out."
That's all right. I'll sort myself out. Thank you. You've been very hospitable.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you all so much for providing some lovely entertainment for the evening. I do appreciate that. That Pez is something else. I don't know where you found her, but she is beautiful, and that music is wonderful.
I can't take credit for that. That was all her. She's a fantastic musician. Very talented. Very promising. She's going
Well,
places.
Y'all are you're rightly welcome back here. The Wrangler's Rest at any point in time that you'd like. Fellow hedge like yourself, community is all we got here, and y'all are a good part of the community, I think.
Amen to that.
Nice little people here. Good type. Have yourself a lovely evening here, Eli, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow.
You as well.
Yeah. He steps outside, gives you a little nod, puts on a little hat, and locks up, and coat on over his apron, and he walks off into the evening.
He's got a little hat.
Of course he's got a
stuck
hat.
on that. I love it. Yeah, so Eli will gather are Dagenais things sitting at the table where they gathered and taken upstairs.
They seem to have gathered and taken upstairs. If not by Lucky and Pez, and Bed would have done it.
I'll go upstairs and just take a look and make sure everything's accounted for and looks to be in order. Just in good faith for my boy Dagenais.
Yeah, Lucky, Pez, everything kind of worked out for you all right? Feeling clean, feeling nice, made your way to the bedrooms. It looks like that 2 rooms were gathered for you guys. One, they both have 2 beds in it. I think one, it was prepared in the fact that maybe Dagenais wouldn't be staying at the house, but with the idea that maybe they would stay with you. But regardless, there's 2 rooms prepared. So Pez, Lucky, I don't know where you decided to end up.
I mean, I'm not gonna impose on a lady's room. A lady can have a room.
Sure.
Eli and she had a space before.
Yeah, you guys know each other. Makes sense. Eli, you do make note that Pez and Lucky have separated their rooms from each other, and Lucky looks clean. Things are polished and nice.
Uncomfortable.
Well, Lucky, you cleaned up nice.
Do I look like I would impress a magistrate?
I think you would impress the very... What is the highest ranking officer, DM, of the government?
Of the government itself?
Of the government itself.
It'd be the council of Alderheart.
The council. I think you would impress the council itself.
All right, great. And he just immediately starts stripping down to like sleepwear. Like,
yeah.
All right. I'll leave you to it.
I mean,
just trying to show off, right?
It's like detergent, like makes it stick to you. It's weird.
Did you dry yourself with any sort of towel?
I mean, took the clothes with the towel, and then I dried myself with the towel. There was a towel, and there was 1 towel. They didn't give me 2 towels. Let me look at this in. It's nice, but it's not like 2 towel nice. It's not like 1 towel nice,
All right. Fair enough.
True.
So yeah, they prep 2 beds in this room, or you can stay with the. I mean, I don't know if I told her you all right. Stay in this room with me. And,
Appreciate it. I'll stay right here.
All right, He goes and like crawls in the bed, just like shoves all the clean clothes on the floor.
Yeah, sure. Eli, you climb yourself into bed.
Yep.
Awesome. Pez, you doing anything else? Or you climbing into bed too?
I'm climbing into bed. Gonna put
Wonderful. We get a nice little and everyone has had a wonderful night's rest in their respective beds. Those of you that were missing any hit points, go ahead and tick those back up to full. If you had chosen to use any of your hit die, go ahead and put those back up to 1. Perfect. So it is now the early morning as I finally get the nighttime music on. It is now the early morning here. And in the Winnowing Reach, what would you like to do?
What time of day were we to meet the Magistrate?
Just after sunrise.
Yeah, it was like pretty early.
Okay.
He seemed like an early riser, so.
Yeah.
Dagenais would be like old man up early,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like my grandpa, and he'd be like puttering around, and he'll put on like a nicer shirt, you know, some cleaner clothes, just make sure everything's kind of, you know, not super dirty. And he'll stumble his way over to the inn and be waiting on the front porch.
like old man waiting, right? So it's like an hour before anyone else is awake.
Please tell me
he's
he's like
got-
reading a newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's just kind of like sitting on a bench out front with like feet kicked up. Maybe a little bit of pipe, you know, having pipe.
Yeah, a little
Oh my
pipe, maybe doing
gosh.
some whittling or
A little
something.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love him so much. Okay, yeah, and you guys wake up, and there's the like sounds coming from downstairs in the kitchen area. It seems that Enbed is also up bright and early, taking care of his inn and tavern. Yeah, you guys get ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Anything specific that you want to take care of before heading to the magistrate's office?
I mean, we should probably go and ask Eliza if she wants. So I need coffee. But if you want to go and find Eliza, I'll get us caffeine started. Whatever.
It's a good point. Yeah, I'll see if. So what time does like the marketplace open? Like, would she be selling her wares this early?
I think it's probably like a setup time. It's much like a farmer's market, right?
see.
People are there
Yeah.
at the ass crack of dawn setting their
Right,
stuff
yeah.
up every day.
Yeah, she's got
And,
like I noticed on the map. She's got a little banner that says Eliza.
yeah, she's got a little banner
I
on the
love
map
it.
there that
All right,
says
yeah.
Eliza.
So I'll meet them at the magistrate's place, and I'll go sort
You're
out.
gonna go
if
say
I
hi
can-
to Eliza?
if I can catch her while she's setting
Sure,
up.
yeah. She's setting up, and as we were just talking about that banner, she's putting her banner up for the day, and she goes, "Well, hey there, Eli. How are you? Good morning.
Good
Up bright
morning.
and early, I see."
Yep, that's right. I was actually hoping, not to take your entire day away from you, but we have an appointment with the magistrate. We just kind of wanted to.
Already making trouble, Eli?
No, nothing like that. Trying to prevent it. We wanted to inform him of the fire bat situation. We feel that maybe it's best that they, at the very least, check it out and prepare. So it might be a little easier to convince them of not only the direness of the situation, but that we are a valuable source of information. If you could maybe be there and recount yesterday's events,
You want me to vouch for you, huh, Eli?
if it's not too much trouble.
That's fine.
Lucky
Don't worry.
seemed to.
Don't worry your prickly little head there, Eli. I'll come along.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
And she secures the banner there, and she grabs her little coat and puts it on and heads with you over to the magistrate's office where you guys are waiting. The magistrate's office is a stately building in the center of town. It's the official chambers of the local magistrate. There's a couple of birdfolk militia guard in the stairway right there. They look a little bit tired. Maybe they're waiting for their shift change. It leads up to the platform for which the building rests. Entry to the building is generally denied, unless on official business, like a summons by the magistrate himself. So the guards that you see that come up there, it's like a pair of strigs. They look rather similar to each other, large owl-esque creatures. You there? You hold us your business?
Sorry.
We have an appointment with the magistrate
One of
regarding.
them pulls out a clipboard and flips through some papers. What's your names?
Elijah Briarwood, and I believe the magistrate spoke with our good friend Lucky here.
I didn't tell him my name. Just look for like maybe the Dirty Jerby or something on the list.
Dagenais will lean it. We about the Zakenna missing Corvum Poster.
Pretty close. Says annoying Gerbine. That the right one?
Most definitely, yeah.
All right then. Takes out like a little pen and scribbles it off. Head on up then. We'll be waiting for you.
Eli apologetically pats Lucky on the shoulder as he passes.
I'm sure.
Oh, I feel bad. I've been picking on Lucky all day. Okay.
I feel like
so you
whenever
guys head up
Dagenais
the
said that, there'd
stairs.
be like a little thing in the corner that's like, Lucky will remember this.
Yeah, if Bob, the guard, or the magistrate ever get on your bad side, it's gonna be a world of trouble.
Bob the guard.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I didn't think of a name for him.
Name's
So
Bob now, it's canon.
yeah. So you guys head up the stairs of the magistrate's office up to the second floor there, and you open the door and you find it unlocked and. Sitting behind kind of stately looking desk. It's not anything overly ornate. It does seem to be made from the willow trees from outside here. And he's got a couple of bookshelves as well on either side, and it looks like a nice little sitting area with what seems to be a small bar. But he is sitting behind a desk and he looks to be looking over papers. You see his long black beak over these kind of goldenish spectacles, and he looks down and he looks up over them as you do, as we get the like camera shot from behind you guys as you open the door, and he goes, who's there at the door?
Hello, studious.
Oh, I know that voice. Yes,
Hey.
Gerbine, come in, come in. I'm surprised you decided to show up. Now, who's this lot?
This is my trusted party I told you about. Got Eli.
Dagenais, what are you doing with this?
Dagenais.
What are you doing with this party? Oh, I thought you were over doing some carpentry work. Over in Meadowfen.
I was, of course, but it is true what Lucky had tried to say yesterday is about the ember bats. Ashborough was burned to the ground. We were charged to take the news to Alderheart, but on the way here, we came across amber bats in the forest, not too far from here. Was lit on fire. It is a pretty serious.
And we
matter.
saved this very kind and patron of your market, Eliza.
She kind of fades off and like stands studiously.
Yeah, and Eliza kind of like peeks out from behind Eli because Eli's a rather large gentleman. He goes, "Hiya, Eliza." And waves and yes, Eliza Pettigleam, the one out there in the middle of the market. Seen you from time to time. You vouch for these creatures? Well, yes, I do. This one here, Eli, was able to save me and party here from some right vicious bandits, and after some running through the forest away from some of these ember bats that burning up the forest on the way over here, you're gonna probably see them here in a couple day or two if they decide to keep coming this way. I think it's a rather big problem that we probably need to be getting on to Alderheart for, but I gotta sell my goods here, so we're going to do that for a little bit. And apparently there's this issue about Cannon Bright's. She seems to be getting rather nervous about talking in front of an authority figure and starts to ramble.
And I don't know if you've heard about our last party member. Her name is Pez. She traveled.
You like noticeably see, for whatever reason these are birds, but they have eyebrows now. So the eyebrow like twitches up on him. And Pez.
Pez from the bar from yesterday. And
So you're the one that all the buzz is about. And he like holds up a piece of paper that says, Master Musician Pez visits Winnowing Reach. Stunning performance. Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm glad I could just stop by and, play a little tune. I'm glad people liked it. My name's Pez.
Yes. Seems that I must visit the Wrangler's Rest next time you're playing.
Oh, it would be delightful. You want to see my wound?
Excuse me?
No, she's the one who got bit by one of the bats I referred to. I didn't know if you needed to assess that to make sure that. I mean, I'm not gonna say you thought I was a liar, but that's okay. I understand what I look like. I just.
Dagenais is enough for me to believe your story, Gerbine. What is your name? Anyways.
I'm lucky. I want to say the southern accent because I keep hearing you guys. Sorry.
Dude, I do that all the time. That's why half of them fall into southern. Every time I go visit my family, they're all southern, right? So I immediately like fall back into that. So if I ever hear it in talking, I have to forcibly make myself pick up a different accent, and it's very difficult. Anyways, yes, go ahead.
It's Lucky. Just you can call me Lucky. Just
yes.
Like the horseshoe bill. Yeah.
Well, rather lucky for you to have met Dagenais. Stand-up gentleman who's always finished a contract, and Dagenais, speaking on that behalf, will have to discuss whether or not you fulfilled the contract over in Meadowfen, or if I'm going to have any trouble about that. Regardless, Lucky here said that you, he gestures to the group, would be willing to go find Kenna for me.
Would be our honor. Yes.
Your honor. Well, let's discuss that afterwards, how you feel about the whole situation. It's not necessarily the most honorable one. I just need you to go find a young, misguided Corvum, Kenna Brightspark, who happens to have lost herself in the marshes and the Mockton Caverns. The researching type came through here. I told her family I'd keep an eye out, but she decided to go hunting for slimes without any backup, and now slimes can be rather dangerous, especially in groups, though they do happen to be rather slow-moving, and I'm just worried that I'm going to have to tell her family that she got swallowed up by one of them.
Well, here's hoping that she didn't, and that we can help her out.
I hope so, too. I do hope she is still alive. Rather much of a headache that would cause if she wasn't, but you're willing to do this?
Of course. Anything to help this town.
Anything, you say? So without pay, then?
I cannot speak for the party as a whole. Nor
yes, your
should
small
I.
Gerbine friend seems like they're going to have an aneurysm if they don't get paid.
I mean, you have a very nice town here. I'd like to be able to at least pay a lovely innkeep for our stay, you know, etc.
If the story tells me otherwise, the innkeep was happy to have you and your friends there.
In case I ever come back to the town, which I would like to, because it's clearly very lovely. You got a lot of nice citizens.
Right.
You know.
Well, how about this? If you happen to reduce the local slime population somewhat, the Reach will be grateful for your service, and I'll pay you 5 gold a piece.
I think that'd be alright. I think that, you know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think that is very reasonable. Yes, of course.
5 gold and a copy of one of those newspaper deals you got there with my name on it.
You want? Yes, I always have 2 copies, one for notes and one for anything else, and pulls out one. Have this one.
Thank you very much.
Of course, anything for apparently a wandering savant of a musician.
Does it?
Happy to have heard that you played here at the Rest. I am quite an
I mean, I'm sure she's got some
purveyor of
time
the
to
arts.
like play a little tune right now if you need, you need a little inspiration for your daily work today. You know.
Oh, is that right? You just play for anyone then, Pez?
I mean, you gotta build a reputation somehow.
Right, noble of you.
For now. Eventually, once word gets out to, more towns, we'll have to start tracking people more.
Sure, if you're up to it. It seems Lucky has volunteered you anyways. I'd love to hear a little piece of what you played my citizens last night.
You got this. You're gonna be great. Clearly, he's a big fan, and I'm gonna try to use Helping Hand on Pez.
What does Helping Hand do?
Helping Hand, which I need to pull up my document.
4 is so I'm sorry, it's the help action, a helping hand. But
Oh, you're using your bonus action to help.
yeah, I
Gotcha.
can lend aid to a creature in completion of a task, which can be an ability check or advantage.
Team
on allies.
tactics is what it's called, not
Yeah.
to be confused with
Sorry.
team fight tactics. You can use the help action as a bonus action. So how are you helping your friend Pez here?
I feel like what would Lucky know that would be able to help?
You helping her
Um,
set up?
Yeah. Like
Getting
like
okay, you
pulling-
had this like
pulling
this
the
last
rock
time.
off her back. Like, remember, you got tappy taps on your little feet, so then you got me those boots are really nice. That'd be you got this step. If you want me to tap, I'm not a guy. I can play the viol to help you out, but I think you got it on your own a little bit. I'm not a good like duetta, but you know.
All right. Thanks. I haven't had morning coffee yet, but I'll see what I can do. A little morning jig, maybe, so I don't make them. I don't know. People cried yesterday. I don't want people to cry at work. That doesn't seem like the place or the time. Maybe a little light morning ditty. What are you looking for?
He seems like a really like a classical type. No offense, it's very intelligent.
Do you have any requests?
Roll me a performance check with advantage.
Okay.
I would like to.
That is a natural 20. It literally doesn't get better though.
Oh my god.
What are these performance checks? Holy shit. So what do you
Pez
play?
is
Do you play a
Beyonce.
classical tune, Pez?
Yeah, something a little lighter, a little more peppier.
Sure, yeah, a lighter classical tune. And it seems that the magistrate, the man that he is, was a little skeptical of your ability. He thinks, it's easy to shock these humble peasant folk. But I, from the cultural center that is Alderheart, a political appointee of the council themselves, I'm used to much higher fare. And then his beak drops open, and he is absolutely floored by the performance that he hears in front of him. Your skill, this faster, more upbeat ditty, your talons flying across the stones as your feet claws dance across them while you play your Aeolus? Yeah, Aeolus.
Delicious.
Good sauce. Nice.
Hello.
Your fingers dancing across them. It is an incredibly intricate and skillful performance that I think your party will not soon forget either. You've definitely made an impression on the magistrate here himself, and he looks up at you after you finish your song and goes, well, I thought it was just an exaggeration, but that is... How have I never heard your name before? Have you not played
Well, I've
in
been,
the halls of Alderheart?
been traveling around, but we're getting there.
A traveling musician with such skill that has not been gobbled up yet by the Alderheart Symphony is beyond me. You would have such a home there.
I am intrigued, and it's in the cards possibly. It's just fun to to see other stuff and try snacks from other towns.
Well, if adventuring no longer wets your whistle at any point in time, before any real harm befalls those skillful fingers of yours, I think you would do mighty well in Alderheart.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. My name's Pez.
Would you, he pulls out his, note-laden newspaper, where you notice now, on some of it is is this a joke? Written on your headlines, there's no way. And then he, puts it to you and he says, would you sign this for me?
Well, I would be delighted, sir. Is there, a picture of me on there? Is there, a drawing?
There's there's a small kind of rendering. It's not super skillful, and it's really hard to capture in ink on parchment, the colors of your feathers and things of that nature. But this is a depiction of your shawl cloak thing that kind of flying about with you playing your instruments and your little notes coming out of where your toes are on the stones.
fun.
It's somewhat cartoonish, but yeah, if you like that kind of thing, it's kind of cute.
I'm definitely keeping this. I'm just gonna draw little sparkles around it, for flair, and then write Pez on there in all fancy letters and swishes and stuff. It takes a little bit too long.
Yeah, and he sits and waits, and you hand it back to him, and he looks at it. And, thank you. 2 mighty fine gifts you've given me today, Pez. Going to have to think of a better name for you than just Pez. Maybe Mission Pez? Sure, I'll come up with something. And he puts the thing down. Yes, Mockton. Do you need a map of anything? The mock fields in the caverns?
Can I ask you a quick DM question?
Yeah.
Because I'm itching for it, because my character would be. Is there
Absolutely.
a sign on his desk that says Magistrate?
Oh, absolutely. It says, yeah.
During her performance, could I have attempted to steal it to take it with me?
Magistrate Walden Kane. So yeah, it just says Walden Kane, and then underneath Magistrate on this metal inlay. Do you wanted to steal? Roll. Yeah. That performance with the natural 20 it being, roll at advantage, please. Your sleight of hand check, because there's no way he was paying attention to literally anything.
Look, he doesn't take any crap from anybody. So I'm just gonna take this with me. With
14. It's okay, but again,
I just kind of knock
beats
it.
the DC.
Oh, sorry, I was so.
Has Elijah noticed this?
Roll me a perception check. DC 14. That's 21 for Eli Briarwood.
Eli takes note silently.
Yeah, you absolutely note that.
I mean, it's a beautiful performance. God, just every time.
Just wonderful. Just so good. Yeah. So the magistrate, after all of this had transpired, do you need a map of any kind to navigate the mock fields and then get to the caverns themselves, or do you know the way?
Anything that you could provide us to help us resolve this would be much appreciated.
Right. And he pulls open a drawer and pulls out a parchment. I had one made up just in case someone was going to need it anyways. And what he provides you is kind of a rough map of the mock fields that marks the entrances to the caverns. There's 3 entrances. So one of them seems rather close, and there's a couple that are kind of off on the side, and there's one that's towards the south side as well. What you guys see is you have your world map, I think, is still available to you.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that. It looks like there's the mock fields, there's the Mockton Caverns, and then there's going to be 3 entrances listed on the caverns there. Do I have you on this yet? Here, I'll bring you back to the world map so you guys can see this. So the entrances themselves, there's going to be one right here, and then there's one on this side, and there's a south side as well. If you can see the red X's there that I just marked.
Cool.
I mean, do you know any of the more common entrances that people travel for research purposes? Looks like,
The closest entrance to the reach is about half a day's hike southwest. Middle of the swampish.
Alright.
There's also one that the road goes around south. Takes about a night of camping before you get there, roughly day and a half of travel. I suggest, if you want to be swiftest, you go to the closest entrance.
Yeah, that should be no problem. We can get to it. Anything for keeping people safe, Right, Eli? Yep.
Eli?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, I was just saying, anything to keep the people safe. We take the shortest route. We go through the swamp. We can.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, actually, that would be a good time to utilize this cheeky little. This right here, huh?
Nice.
As someone who once assisted, this is Bandit Routes chat, by the way.
Huh?
Someone who once assisted countless highway robberies, you are familiar with the roads of the wood. and escape paths used by bandits. When you're not in combat, you and your companions can travel between locations that cut through forested areas twice as fast as your speed would normally allow. Now, the weird part about this whole forested area thing is that this is called the Mock Fields, and this is also a swamp.
Could I amend? Oh, okay, never mind.
Luckily,
I'm gonna
Lucky,
be like, oh wow, I know how to dive and not.
You got your bandit routes. I got the avoid the poisonous frog routes. We'll be fine.
Thanks, man.
luckily, Lucky has their natural explorer path as a ranger is the swamp.
We got
So it
you
looks
covered.
like they've run a couple things through the mock itself. So you will have advantage on being able to navigate through this area, as well as not be hindered by any difficult terrain therein during your normal travel. It's pretty good.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Yep. Okay, so you guys are in the Magistrate's office. You have the map in front of you. You've discussed what you're going to be able to do and what you need. What would you like to do now?
Dagan will take a moment and regarding the carpentry contract that I was
Yes.
currently on. If you send a message to Meadowfen, the elder there, definitely thought that this mission about the Ashboro and to Alderheart was more priority than the contract that I was currently on.
I understand, Dagenais. I understand and I believe you and your stories about the bats themselves. It will be good for you to continue on to Alderheart. I will post scouts and lookouts on the edges here at Winnowing Reach, and if any of the bats start to come closer, we'll find a way to drive them out.
I have a small question for you. Can I use the restroom here before we go? Do you mind?
It's fine, yes. He, gestures off, down to the hole to the right.
All right, thanks, pal. Shuffles down the hallway to the restroom.
Sure.
Can I ask him if do you have ties to that place in Alderheart, the music with?
He kind of ruffles his feathers a little bit and puffs himself up. He's like, I was selected by the council themselves. I attended many of the artistic things there in Alderheart, and yes, I have to say that I do have some connections there.
Wow, that's pretty fancy. Would you mind writing just a little note of recommendation if that's possible? Just ease things along.
He looks again over the glasses at you and says, you return with Kenna Brightspark, and I will write you whatever recommendation you think you.
Perfect, thank you. You are a very, very kind man. Appreciate it.
Of course. Now, once your friend is done in the restroom there, I do believe it is time for you to possibly head off, as is any moment that we wait is another moment that Kenna might be digesting in a slime's sliminess.
How many stalls are in this restroom? Is it just a one-stall restroom?
And this is his house.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, there's just the one.
Definitely leave the nameplate in the toilet and leave.
Okay.
I'm a child. I'm sorry.
Okay.
As
yeah, cool.
As Lucky comes out. Oh yeah. So yeah. We gotta get out. We gotta get on the road. Gotta get snapping. Gotta rescue the people. Gotta do
Nice.
stuff. Nice to meet you. Sorry for any
Yes, of course.
confusion.
And Lucky, I do apologize for not believing you earlier. It's just, people come in and out of this place all the time, saying things, promising things, and didn't know that you had such esteemed friends.
I mean, there's probably a reason why they chose me to be their friend too. Book cover situation, but that's all right. We'll talk about it some other time.
He gives you a nod, and he returns to taking notes on his parchment. You guys leave the magistrate's office and head down the stairs. And it looks like everything is kind of getting kicked up and ready for the day. Eliza kind of walks down and says, well, that was mighty something there in Pez. If you played like that last night, I can understand why everyone's going to be talking about you today. Now, if you don't mind, if I could say that I'm your friend, I'd garner me a little extra business today.
Well, should we do some sort of exchange?
Now, what are you looking for?
What kind of stuff does she have again? Like traveling gear?
She has
things?
general adventuring gear, yes.
General adventuring gear. Would you happen to have potentially a cloak of sorts that might be a little less flashy than this one?
Well, I've got the right types of traveling clothes. Yeah, I've got some that are nice and waterproof, like doe skin. I've been rubbed down with oils and wax and should serve you well.
That sounds very nice.
Right, yeah. Come on over to the stall real quick. And she kind of like waves you guys forward. The magistrate's office is kind of in the center of town, right in front of the marketplace here. It has a kind of a great view of it. You do note now that this is also where the board was put up, Lucky. It's just right in front of the magistrate's office. So you go down to Eliza's place, and she kind of digs through a couple boxes, and she produces a light brown doe skin leather cloak. It sits kind of heavy, but it's thin, and it's also been waxed in a way that would definitely prevent the water from getting into it.
Is it fire resistant wax?
It is not fire resistant wax.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe next.
Sadly, no. But it fits well enough, and it kind of covers over your shoulders and things, and it definitely would keep you dry and or warm.
Perfect. This is beautiful. You have mighty fine goods here.
All right, now if I can just say I am a traveling partner of Pez, and we're heading to Alderheart to show her off to everyone there, then I think I might be able to drum up a little bit of extra business today. I do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And she kind of gives you a nod, and she starts calling out her wares, and she starts talking about you and yelling your name and how she knows you, and she has stories of Pez the Magnificent. So
we ate her gumbo.
Yeah, you did eat her gumbo. She has
me
stories. She doesn't. Hey, she's gonna sell these stories. She's not giving this away for free. She's a businesswoman, okay? But yeah, so you guys now have a map. You have your things. You have a new cloak, and you have a goal. What would you like to do?
We head out of town.
I mean, it's still fairly early in the day. It's gonna take us like a half a day's journey to get there, maybe. What do you
Yeah,
think,
so
Eli?
the closest entrance is about half a day's hike. And with your ability in natural exploration, it's pretty easy for you to kind of get through this, I think. So what I'm gonna want from you as you guys head out south of town is, can I get a survival check from you, Lucky, at advantage? This is for you to navigate the swamps successfully, and depending on the roll, quickly. A 17, absolutely. Blows the DC out of the water to be able to navigate successfully, so you're definitely navigating quickly. You're doing this in about half the time. So you are getting yourselves through the swamp, and those of you guys that haven't been here, Lucky is good at this. They're able to pick out different patches of the swamp that would sink you to the bottom, and they toss a stone in and you watch it happen, as well as all the dry patches that you would need. It's a bit of a winding path, but you seem to be making great time because you're not slugging through the muck.
Do we pass any of the slime that, or muck that was the healing properties muck that we had?
It'd be like all of it, but
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay. I'm just Lucky's gonna point it out at Pez and be like, "Hey, see, like this is it's everywhere. It's they use it on, I don't know. I just know they used to use it on Healy stuff.
Is that what that smell is?
That's what the whole smell of the place is. Yeah. Yep.
Is it always like that? It's gonna keep being like that?
Day and night.
Do you get used to it? Can you still smell?
I can smell you in the village, but it goes away. I'll say that.
I hate it.
They say after a while you get nose blind to certain things.
And it's right. About 30 minutes to an hour after this, Doesn't stink as much.
I think it's getting better.
Hmm.
It's still bad. It's still terrible. It's not as terrible.
Well, we'll be out of here soon enough. Don't worry. Off to greener smelling pastures, as it were.
Are we gonna be okay taking this route around instead of going straight to Alderheart? Is that gonna be?
Well, as long as this Kenna is not too lost and we find her quickly, it shouldn't take us that long, and especially since Lucky knows the way there.
Yeah. I mean, between me and Eli, we should be able to figure out our way to the entrance. And then once we get there, we can like rest if you need to. If you need to like relax your legs, massage your little feeties or whatever, and then we can go in and see if we can find her. I don't know if I've been in the caverns. If I have, it's been a while. So once I get there, it might be a little hard for me to navigate. So we'll take our time then, but we'll get there.
Trust me, Lucky and I have we've done our fair share of traveling, and Lucky in particular is very, very familiar with this area. Should be just fine. In and out, easy peasy.
So don't step in that. I go around.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
And don't step on those. Watch out for the mushrooms. Not all are good here. Tried it.
Mushrooms.
Diet times. But that's not one of those diet times. It'll be fine.
So you guys, it doesn't take long. Eventually, you can see the outside of the rocky caverns in the mock fields, the mocked-in caverns themselves. They're visible against the backdrop of the sunken mock fields through the tall reeds and some of the like sporadic dead trees. It's 80-ish feet away.
That's where we're headed. Right over, you can see it's kind of a small little break in the side there, but that's where we're headed. Right there. Told you it'd take no time.
Does it? Have we seen any slimes?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, sister. That's a 22.
22. Well rolled. Yep. You do see some. They're sitting at the entrance of that cavern over there that you're supposed to be going to. Yeah. There's
Yep.
two of them. One on either side of the entrance. They don't seem to be moving too much.
Look alive, folks. Got some slimes.
Of course.
Fought slimes before?
How hard can it be?
I feel like Lucky would give any pointers about slimes.
Yeah,
with
Lucky
any
knows some
history.
stuff. Lucky
I
knows
don't
some
know.
stuff, right? So slimes don't have eyes. They kind of feel things by vibration. They feel things into the ground, and they're kind of slow moving. But if you can either avoid them or attack them before they know that you're there, generally it can be pretty easy to get by them. They're also easily distracted by, again, if you can recreate a vibration in a way that gets them to move away. They're not very smart. They're literally like single cell organism slimes. They're very much, every time they feel something, they go see if it's food.
Just be sure you don't end up in its grass, because once you're there, it's like they like up your leg in no time. It's slow on the ground, but like once it starts eating, it's just I've seen it twice.
How far are we from these slimes?
80 feet.
Okay. Sagan, would you like to make a spell attack? Okay. The cat wants to participate. I would like to attempt to get within 30 feet.
Okay, so you want to try and sneak up on the slimes.
Yeah, I think just slight, a very very light-footed hedge boy. Very careful.
Yeah, you don't wear armor at all, so you can make it a straight roll if you'd like.
Oh, great, because I'm gonna need all the roll I can get with a -1.
You can give yourself guidance.
I sure could. Oh, you know what? That is a cantrip. Oh my god! Look at this
Yeah,
guy.
you can do that.
Look at
all
this
the
guy
time.
teaching me how to. I forget that I am in fact a willing creature. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Sure. So you like yourself maybe a little pat on the chest. All right, Eli.
All right, Eli. It's time to make the donuts. And so I'll roll stealth. Oh yeah, I'll take the guidance, please.
Okay, roll me a 4.
Okay, that's a
12.
12. Math.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
you want to try to sneak towards the slimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting closer to the slime, sneaking through the tall grass here. Try to keep yourself out of vision, even though you know now that Lucky has told you they don't have eyes. But you think, better safe than sorry, right?
Just
When
in
you-
case.
Your foot gets caught in some sucking mud. And you try to get your foot out, and it pops right out. And you can see roughly 50 feet away, the slimes start to, and they start slowly ambling their way towards you.
All right.
Look, you ready as an arrow.
As
Yep, and on that note,
oh god.
we're gonna go ahead and roll some initiative. There's not
Okay.
there's not gonna be a map for this, so you guys just click on your tokens here on the title screen and then go ahead and roll your turn order. And I will get the tokens ready for the slimes themselves. Dagenais rolls a -1 once again.
Hell
it's
yeah.
actually unbelievable.
It's happening.
Oh my god, that's twice. We only had 2 fights. That's twice. How did you even? I'm
You
impressed.
crit that one, Eli. Oh, GG, you fucking asshole. Sorry, my jersey came out.
I need to.
Poor Eli. Poor Eli.
My lucky came out.
I need a
Oh my
refresh or something
God.
because I'm not seeing a map image or any token.
Okay, so on roll 20,
Mhm.
You should be able to see the Alderheart title screen.
I see nothing on the background. It's just the white paper background for me. So I don't know if I'm bugged and I need to reload or something.
Potentially, you're here.
Yeah.
So let me check this token. You do have vision of it.
Yeah,
It's just
like
a white paper
I wonder
background.
if I can show you. That's what it looks like.
Ooh, that's broken.
Oh yeah, hit that refresh. Let's see what happens. You know what? This gives me extra time to get the slimes anyways, and to advertise that not only are these up on Twitch right after the show, but you can head on over to the YouTube in a day and a half and probably find them there, as well as on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud by searching DieFall Dungeons and Dragons. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I had plenty of time to advertise this show. Yeah, so there are going to these two, I think.
Would you like me to roll initiative again, or is there any way that you can impose that fix?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it again.
Much
19. Nice. Nice.
better.
Hang on, let me see if I got the right ones. Yes. Okay, cool. So these guys, I'm gonna need this one and this one. Did it work? I just set these up, so hopefully it actually worked, but it didn't actually work. There we go. There's my slimes.
Slimy lads.
Slimy boys.
A couple of slimy boys.
Oh my god. I broke their strength stat. Right now it reads 1,120. Nice.
Please, no bully.
That's funny. That's what we call funny in the business.
I mean, I told you not to get close, but
Not very funny.
It's
Listen, I had a plan. It just happened to not go well.
Also true. Okay, yeah, so there's these like two kind of ambling, shifting slimes rolling your direction. Lucky you do know that these are what people would call a sticky slime, and they have these like little cephalopod appendages that kind of like slap around a little bit, and they try to like you into their, you know, sliminess. They're really kind of slow, and you note now as they're making their way towards you, they're not moving very quickly. So, Lucky, it is your turn to go. You already had an arrow ready for this situation right now, so go ahead and fire at one of these, and you can see them both on your screen right now. So just tell me if it's the right or the left one, and then we'll go from there.
I'm gonna aim for the right one.
Perfect.
23 to hit.
Absolutely hits. Yes.
8 pieces.
Yeah. Eight piercing damage on the one on the right. Boop. And it like kind of like enters into the sticky slime and like sinks in. But you can kind of note that it like in pain with all of its cephalopod appendages. Yeah, you definitely seem to have done a little bit of damage there.
Oh, and get as far away as possible, even though it's not gonna take.
You're already pretty far. You're still like 60 feet away from them, so I think you're probably good.
Just slowly move then.
Yeah. Is that all you want to do, Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Eli, what would you like to do, my friend?
How far is the slime from me?
They're still, like, I think at this point, they're like 35 feet off.
Okay, close enough. I am going to attempt to do a cheeky little bit of magic here. I would like to use thaumaturgy to create tremors at a location kind of in the opposite, or not opposite direction, but like sort of, you know, if I'm facing it, I want it like 30 feet that way, like to my right.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to trick them into following vibrations that way.
Absolutely. Okay. So make me a deception check utilizing your spell. So basically make a spell attack.
Spell attack using,
and that will set the, well, actually, what's your spell DC?
So my spell DC is 13.
Okay, perfect. That works.
Okay, I'm proficient in deception. So do you want?
It's just a flat thing because you're using thaumaturgy.
Okay.
So it's how good the spell is in general.
Got it.
How
So
much
just
you're
like a
selling it.
wisdom.
Yeah. So for them, I think it's gonna be intelligence because it's insight into it.
But like, should I just make a flat wisdom roll then?
No. Your DC that you're setting that they have to hit.
Oh,
whether or
I
not
am so
they
sorry.
Are distracted,
Okay, that's what
right?
DCs are.
So they're making wisdom
guy
saves
that
against
plays
that.
D&D every fucking week.
So what was your DC again?
13.
It seems that both of them are unaffected, and they
whatever, guys
have -2 to their wisdom, which is
all right.
hilarious.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's like this slight rumble off to the side. But it definitely seems like one of them is very focused on wherever the pain just came from. And feeling the vibrations from that general direction that you're also in. They're just going that way.
Well, we tried, Eli. And he's gonna take his what do I have? A mace. He's gonna take his mace out and just kind of.
Do you approach them or do you wait?
I'm gonna wait for the time being.
Okay.
Just kind of stand my ground.
Okay.
That's that.
Pez, what would you like to do?
So what are they doing right now?
They're just wobbling forward.
So they're
very
still coming at us.
slowly. Yep.
Okay. How close am I to them?
You are 60 feet away.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna do a magic thing, but I don't think any of them are within any sort of range like that.
Look, it's like, don't worry, you don't have to hide. They can't see you.
Your crossbow is within range.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna shoot it at the one that's already taken a little bit of damage.
Sure, the one on the right. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll. 20. Yeah, absolutely hits. Malaveth, you've been on fire
I don't know
tonight, by
what's
the way, with
happening.
these rolls. It's actually wild.
I feel like I
General
broke
damage.
it.
Yep, two piercing damage. Cool. This one goes kind of, I think it like just pierces one of the little cephalopod appendages, which kind of just splashes open because they're just really kind of just slime things.
Oh, but...
It does some damage, but it doesn't do as much as you probably think it should.
Okay.
Now the two shuffling boys are gonna shuffle forward. So they're gonna close the distance by about 15 feet to Eli. I believe, so I'm just gonna put this like this. I'm just gonna move your characters where they probably are. So Eli, they've shuffled their way towards you here. It will take them a dash action to get to you, so they just like sit in front of you and just like. Yep, and that's both of their turns. Dagenais at that -1.
get to go.
Wonderful. What would you like to do?
Yeah, he's gonna hobble as much as he can, so that he'll close distance by half. And then I guess the one on the right, I'll take out my hand axe and lob it at it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me hand axe. 19. Yeah, absolutely hits. Yeah, 10 slashing. Dagenais is so strong. Again, it makes impact, but it kind of goes foof and like goes straight through it. And you notice that like some of the slime has been splattered off behind it, but it kind of just forms itself back together. You can tell that it's definitely less corporeal than it was, but it seems to be taking less damage than you would expect from a throw that hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Dagenais, anything else? Are you good to go?
I'm good. I will take out my spear for the next time.
Yeah, sure. So you ready your spear and your shield?
Yeah.
Perfect. Lucky, what's up?
Lucky's gonna look over at Pez and be like, "You don't have to be afraid. You can move closer. They're gonna be very focused on Eli up there. He's pretty good at distracting them. If you want to move on up and do you
Eventually.
I'll come up with you. We'll both move up. I'll go up first. I'll show you how they're not gonna come past Eli to come over here to get to us, and then you can do your thing." And he's attempting to essentially do a team tactics help on Pez to hopefully get her to do something more than just hide. Stop hiding. Yeah, you got this. You just like you sneak around and sneak back. You sneak around, sneak back. Tactics. See, I'm teaching you. Sneak around, sneak back.
Yeah, sure, why? Sure. So Pez, on your next action, you will have advantage.
Okay. Cool.
And then he is going to step out and start targeting the left one with the shot with
Okay.
the longbow.
I have some details on help here. So the help action, you gain advantage on the next ability check you perform. Alternatively, you can aid in attacking a creature if they're within 5 feet of you. So Lucky,
Oh.
you can aid them in attacking a creature if they're within 5 feet. If you do it generally,
Oh, I have to feint. That's right.
it's an ability attack. Right, so like you're up in the enemy's grill, right? Just distracting them
Got it.
as your help action, okay?
Got
So
it.
you technically have advantage on an ability check here if you were to make one, Pez.
I'm
but
still
up
gonna
until
try to encourage it, but
sure, yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
good at it.
encouragement is good anyways, and talking is a free action.
and then just ready an arrow.
Yeah, go ahead. So you longbow, same one as before?
16 to hit.
Absolutely hits. Yeah, go ahead.
And 6.
Another 6 piercing damage. Yeah, this one, it pierces through, and it like takes a majority of the like blobules with it, and it doesn't seem to reform itself.
Alright. But now you get the guy. Whatever you gotta do. Alright.
Very impressive.
So, Elijah Briarwood, what would you like to do?
All right. I'm going to go up to the living question mark.
Yep, it's right in front of you.
Okay.
Ish. Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
they're alive. They exist. I'm gonna take a cheeky little swang
Okay.
with my mace. Oh, that's an 8.
That's an 8. Yeah, it hits. So roll me some damage. Yeah, these are very slow, very blobule creatures.
That's another 8.
Awesome. So you smack it for 8 damage, and you feel your mace like and out a little bit. And it like kind of have to like wrench your mace out of it. And it does a little bit less damage than you think that hit probably should have. It still menacingly cephalopods itself at you.
Gross. Is it well, that's a dumb question. Never mind. I'm gonna stand my ground.
Pez, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna scoot a little closer because there's peer pressure happening. So can I move that far? I'm not sure how far that is.
Oh, it's not necessarily a distance. So the way that we're doing technically theater of the mind, this is just like an order kind of thing that we're looking at here. So Pez, you were 60 feet away. The slimes got closer, and Eli is roughly 25 feet away from you, so the slime itself is 35 feet away from you.
Okay, and it's just the one?
Yep, just the one. Yeah, the one with a big X on it is dead.
Am I within 30 feet?
Sure, why not? You can definitely move to be within 30 feet.
I'm gonna move to be within 30 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do a mold earth and then make it difficult terrain underneath it so it moves even slower so we can just whack at it, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So if it tries to move off of the area that it's on, it will definitely have difficulty doing so.
It's trying to move. Or is it still trying to move? Ah, jeez.
I mean, it's its turn next. We'll see what it does.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Pez?
I don't think there. Oh, I can do bonus stuff. I forget.
Yeah, you have
about.
bonus action for Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Bardic Inspiration on Lucky, because Lucky seems to know what's going on with these things, and so does Eli, but he's up there, and I don't want to go up there.
You don't have to. Bardic Inspiration is, I think, a 60-foot radius.
Oh, it is a 60-foot radius, and Eli's right up on it, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Dagenais is next in the line there for attacking things, but Eli is also right next to it.
How hurt is it looking?
This one has only been hit the one time from Eli, and Eli looked a little confused as to why his mace did less than he thought it would.
Okay. I'm gonna do Eli because yeah, he's right up there.
Okay.
Oosh, Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, so you have a 1d6 that you can add to your next attack roll or skill check, Eli.
Nice.
Okay. Good job, Pez. The little sticky slime cephalopod creature is just gonna go, and it's gonna try to cephalopod itself all over you, Eli. That is a 9. Does that hit you? Yeah, you kind of just like poke it with your mace, and it unsettles itself backwards, and it's just like waving itself around a little. It's trying to be menacing. It's not working, and that's its turn. So, Dagenais, what would you like to do?
Well, I got my shield and spear out, so he's gonna close the distance in beside Eli there and try and skewer it.
Do it. Do it.
Oh.
Ooh, a natural 1.
Stuck in the slime I just stood on.
Yeah, you like stepped on one of the slimes and you're just like, frick. And so like you try to like get your spear in there to like get yourself out of it, but now your spear's stuck in the muck itself and just having yourself a time. Unfortunate, Dagenais. Lucky, what would you like to do?
lucky remembering earlier that Dagenais had a slight against him. Like, and like sneaks around it to get a clear view and just another long shot.
Yeah, sure. So you take another shot.
Yeah, 20 to hit.
20 absolutely hits. Roll me some damage.
10.
10. Yeah, okay. Sure. Why not? This arrow goes straight through it and just, I think it hits the same point that like the where the mace did. It just like splits it open in half and it's kind of just like wriggling on its side, split in half. Like,
See, there's nothing to be. Look at it, Pez. There's nothing to be afraid of. They're like jam, but just not as sweet. You just stick them, and then they usually kind of. And then sometimes they have some different things they've eaten, leftover stuff in there, like some loot. Sometimes, in case you want to dig through it. But
Sometimes, yeah, so that ends the combat for that. So, hi, these are slimes, and they're kind of just funny little creatures, and I love them. But yeah, so in front of you here, after where you see the slimes, they leave like little trails of themselves as they go through places. There's like little blue trails of slime, but you do see the entrance to the caverns beyond. The inside of the caverns look dark, damp, and dank. The 3Ds, if you will. It's evident that there's like some water from the surrounding swamp that's inundated the system with tunnels beneath it. You can see water dripping from the ceilings, and there's pools that you can see right here through the entrance as they proceed downwards. The subterranean area smells a lot like the swamp itself, so it's going to be like walking into a carcass. Tunnels looks like it descends gradually into the ground. It's not very well lit, obviously. The natural light is provided by some like glowing fungi that grows in the humid environment. The ceilings in the tunnels are 10-ish feet high, but sometimes they'll drop low enough that larger creatures like Fly and Dagenais will have some trouble slipping through. But most open areas have about, 15-foot high ceiling. And as you stand at the entrance to this cavern, the swamp behind you, the dead slimes behind you themselves as well, and the hopefully still living Kenna Brightspark somewhere in these caverns, we're gonna end the episode. So thank you everybody for tuning in to DieFall Alderheart episode 2. That was our second 3-ish hours of game time. So the next time that we play, we will be exploring the Mockden Caverns, going on a rescue mission of Kenna Brightspark before potentially continuing on to Alderheart in the seat of the political government here in Humblewood to warn them of the impending doom. Side quests are fun, right? So thank you everyone for being here tonight. I appreciate that. And let's go around and tell everyone who you are and what you're about and where to find you. Let's start up at the top. Pez Malaveth, where can the people find you?
Hi, I'm Malaveth. I stream on my Twitch channel .tv/Malaveth. I do art and things, just do a lot of commissions and D&D art specifically. I'm drawing, so I'm in like a couple games right now, so I'm drawing some my characters a lot. I really like drawing characters. One of them has abs, so I've been crafting her abs for a straight like 3 hours today. That was a lot of fun. They're very good abs. Yeah,
Nice.
that's about it. The simple lady who likes drawing buff people with abs and swords and stuff.
Love that. Cool. Awesome. Bonus stage Rob, where can the people find you at, bud?
Hi, my name's Rob. I can be found at Bonus Stage Rob on most of the things. Sometimes, occasionally, eventually, I'll be on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob. But you can find me on the Twitters. You can find me in Robo's Discord. You can find me all over the place. I am here on Thursday whenever we meet next for our next game. I'm sure he'll get into it. But I can also be found at twitch.tv/game nights. That is game with 2 G's like GG and nights with a K like the guy with the sword. Where I play a Monster of the Week campaign every other Sunday. We're off this Sunday, but next Sunday is Sunday Prime. at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to go see me steal shit and fight monsters, that's where you can find me when I'm not here.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rob. The Lady May, where can people find you at?
Well, they can find me at the Lady May, and that's MEA on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all those fun things. Next week, though, I'm going to be doing another art battle with Meow Wolf against another creative streamer. And follow my socials to learn more on where that's going to be, because I don't know yet. But it's going to be on Tuesday night, and it's going to be fun, silly, random challenges. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
Thank you very much. Last and certainly not least, Simply Jackson. Where can the people find you at?
Hi, Simply Jackson. You can find me on Twitter most efficiently at Simply Jackson, or on Instagram at Simply_Jackson. Lady May is really funny. Zach got invited to do that show, so he might have been your competitor, but I'm taking him out of town. So I do art stuff. I have started to get back into streaming again, like once or twice a week. You can catch me on here if you want to drop a follow. But other than that, thanks for everybody watching and listening and stuff. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Hi, I'm Runaway Robot. This is my channel. You probably figured it out by now. I do Dungeons & Dragons stuff and technically variety streaming things, but I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 recently because I love it and it's fun, and you should love it too because it's free. Anyways, I've got some things coming up other than this show here, which we'll get into the schedule for that in just a moment. I do a year-end wrap-up going through favorite games played this year and things of that nature, as well as some of the other charity streaming goals that we hit. I'm going to try and get those done sometime either early next year or at the end of this year. So there's like a painting stream that I have to do, and then there's also a stream where my girlfriend gets to put makeup on me that I need to do. So that should be fun as well. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, follow the socials there and follow me here. That being said, our schedule for this show right now is on Thursdays, and the holidays are coming up. So it will be off at least the next 2 weeks. I believe we have one person out next week and 2 people out the week after, including myself. The third week after that, we'll have to discuss whether or not the January 2nd works for everyone, or if we're going to have to figure out how that works. So do pay attention to the Twitter. That's DieFall _RPG for schedule updates and things of that nature. But we will definitely keep you informed. Thanks again for tuning in to the second episode of DieFall Alderheart. It was fun. We got to meet some cool NPCs, explore a city, and we're going to go save some people. I kind of love it. And we'll see you next time. Later.